Hello. Hello. I'm sorry. I just watched someone come to my door and like, you know those people who go around and they put flyers on your door and leave? I just watched that. I was just like looking at my, cause we have like one of those video doorbells and I was just like watching. I was like, the comfy sweater returns indeed. It is that time of year. It is that time of year. It is cold out. It's been cold and rainy in Seattle. Thank goodness it's been raining again in Seattle. Was it a fun flyer? I don't know. I didn't go down and check the flyer. I mean, she was nice. She seemed like a nice older lady. And it seemed like maybe it was something that she just printed off of her printer. Cause like I could see like, I couldn't see what the words were, but I could see how it was formatted and it definitely looked like a legit printed it off the printer situation. So I imagine it's probably something religious. I imagine. Or maybe like asking for money or something. I don't know. We'll see. Sweater day. Hello. Thanks. It's a very big sweater. It's very big. It's very comfy. It's perfect for today, to be honest. All I need is like a mug of like hot cocoa and I'm all set. Cause it's been a rainy day. It's rainy and I'm like tired. I'm kind of sad. So we got the perfect like aesthetic. You've been loving the rain? I've been loving the rain too. I'm so glad it's back. I wish that it would just keep going. I'm glad that we've made it to fall because Seattle is the rainiest in the fall. But anyways, how's everybody else doing? Hi, Obi-Wan. Hello. And Zareka, congrats on 2 years, even though we just missed it. Take ours? Okay, yeah, I'll take yours. I love rain. We've discussed this many times before on stream, but I love rain and I wish that I had, like, storms. But shattered, oh no! Well, I hope that's not, I hope, well, that's fair. Hello! Tired and a little sad, but you want to be more cheerful, so here you are. Violet, we're here for the exact same reason. Maybe with the power of our combined intentions, it will happen. In the past couple of days when we got more rain than we did all summer. Yeah. Yeah, you're relaxing. Congrats on finishing your interview, Mysterio. I hope you get it. And up until flooding issues. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know this area well enough to know how big of a deal that'd be. I hope it won't be that big of a deal. Only sleep short weeks. Man, I was talking to a friend yesterday. I was talking to a friend about how rough September is. You guys already know that September is always my worst month. I'm not physically well. Something about the changes of seasons just sends me down. But I swear it's not just me. I swear that there's other people that this happens to as well. Weather changes always does that to me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm sad today. I'm not doing well. But also like everybody I know, I'm like, how are you doing this September? And they're like, you know what I mean? Gritting your teeth through it. At least we're all in this together. Hay fever. Oh, hay fever for allergies. I don't get any allergies though, so I can't refer it to that. I can just refer to it as the thing that people with Hashis get. There must be some kind of like pressure, temperature change or something. Way less sun. See, Seattle was in a drought. Seattle was in like the longest period of time without rain this year that it had ever been ever. So that's why I'm so excited to see the rain now. You had the fall feeling all summer? Are you having the summer feeling during fall yet? Because you got out way less. That's fair. Well, that part still hasn't changed for me. That's definitely true. Some kind of stomach pain. Oh God, your doctor, okay, yeah. A level that your doctor was concerned you had appendicitis. I have had appendicitis. I know how painful that is. It's quite literally the worst pain that I've ever felt in my entire life. I'm sorry that you were dealing with a stomach pain that was that. What the heck? My goodness. I'm glad it's gone away though. That's definitely a good sign. Probably means it's not appendicitis. I hope not. I hope you feel better. See, we can all stay here happily together, musing about the I don't know, I guess the tenor of day. You know how people feel like lack of energy when it's cloudy, and I don't know, some people feel like really energetic when it's sunny outside. I feel like I don't necessarily feel more energetic when it's sunny outside. I just feel more tired when it's cloudy. Which, like, arguably is the same thing, but, like, it getting sunnier or hotter doesn't give me more energy or anything, you know what I mean? It's just that if it's really cloudy all day, then I'm tired. What's with the sweater? I like it. What do you... It's rainy outside and cold, so I'm wearing a sweater. Also, I avoid turning on the heater in this apartment like the plague because we only have electric heaters. Yeah. Cloudy days, you just want to lay around longer. Yeah, that's fair. It's good to be back. But yeah, so the game that we're checking out today, and I'm not super sure how long I'm gonna stream. I'm a little low spoons today, so just as a heads up. It's also a really chill game that we're playing. So the game we're playing today is called Potion Craft. It's in early access on Steam right now. And it is like an alchemy simulator. So you run a little alchemy shop, and it's kind of like a puzzle shopkeep potion-esque game. Like I said, it's still really in early access, so there's a lot of stuff that they haven't added to it that they're going to add to it, and I can show you the stuff that they're still planning on adding because they have a little section in the game that shows everything. But yeah, I think that, like, you know, we love really chill games here, and I think that I was really excited to show you guys today because I was like, oh, I bet the Folt's gonna love this one! So, you know. You've seen it a little? Yeah. I'm one of those people who, you know, I'm not afraid of being an early access adopter on Steam. And thankfully, like, I'm one of those people who just, like, forgets enough about playing a game that if I come back to it in 2 years, I'm gonna be like, oh, hey, this game's even better than I remember, because that's what happened with 2 Point Hospital. I'm pretty sure I played that game in early access, and I went back to it, you know, this time recently, and I was like, wow, this game is much better than I remember. I'm pretty sure that's why. A souped up version. Oh, the Making Elements games? I really love those games, though. Dirt and leaves in a bucket and pretend to be a witch. You also used to make potions in the bath with shampoo and blah, blah, blah stuff. That's awesome. Doodle God is really fun. I really like Doodle God. I never did stuff like that, Violet, but what I did do is I would take a little notebook and a pencil, and I would run around, like, my house trying to find mysteries and clues to solve. So I would, like, come across, like, a stranded sock on the floor and be like, a single sock. And I would be like, a murder has taken place. So I was just baby Nancy Drew. Zarika! Poggers. Thank you for resubscribing. Welcome back to the fold. Sorry, for some reason I find Poggers, like, just very funny. I can't explain myself. Yeah, I mean, I do understand people's hesitance about early access games, especially because, like, in the beginning, early access games, like, so many of them fell through. I feel like nowadays people, either Steam made it more difficult to go early access. I've never released a game in early access, so I have no idea. Or just alternatively, more game companies figured out either how to integrate early access more easily with, like, seeking extra money from publishers, or maybe it's just that everybody understands that if they release a game in early access and they abandon it, that, like, they're dooming their future career forever. Who knows? One time there were a whole bunch of dead fish washed up on the beach. Investigated that mystery. It doesn't mean anything, but at the same time, it means everything. I only know poggers from a friend of mine who says it ironically as a joke. And I think it's very funny every time. I don't know. Poggers is just a funny word, but I'm not sure what baggage it carries, so I'm not confident enough to use it on my own. Oh, yeah, Netflix has been trying to make Netflix movie games. They've been trying to make, like, choose your own adventure movies. I don't like it, or at least I haven't seen anything that I like. I mean, it could be cool eventually. I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like the level of quality of storytelling that you expect from a game where you can control your own actions, and then between a game and a movie, it's just that filming on a movie set is so much more restrictive. I don't know. It's very difficult. You just have a lot less control over all of the moving parts than you do with a game, and so much of it has to happen in post-production. It's fine. It doesn't matter. You kind of liked Bandersnatch? Hello, Derek! How are you? It's like how in the cartoon Recess they say womp as a meaningless swear word. They made up womp. Yeah, I think they did After Party. Oh, the Kimmy Schmidt one. I haven't watched the Kimmy Schmidt one though. You can't cast those, so you never watch any of them. You're expecting Netflix will be offering actual gaming as part of. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Hello, Jenna. You're rested, yay! I'm so glad you've had time to rest. That's great news. That's great news after everything. That's the rumor anyways. Interesting. Interesting. An interesting exploration of the medium of film streaming. Yeah, I agree that it's definitely an interesting exploration of the medium of film streaming. I'm probably not even the person to ask about that. I think it's cool. I think it's cool to explore. I think there's cool things that can be done with it. I'm glad that they're hiring actual game devs with narrative design experience to make them, because I think that that is a better angle than asking script writers to think interactively if they don't have any game experience in that way. I don't know. I'm curious to see how it goes, but also I'm acknowledging that this is probably not, as a person who doesn't like movies, it's probably not for me. Hello, Mini Mina. Oh, how is it? How is the New World MMO? Netflix, the gaming company. Yes. Netflix, the gaming company. Net games, Gameflix. No. Ooh, no, not that. Who cares? Who cares? They're not gonna pay me for this name. They're still working on Oxenfree 2. That's quite fair. Flicks for games. Snaps for Patrick. Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna be playing Potion Craft today. I'm excited to check it out here. So let me just actually, let's make it happen, because I have the feeling that this stream will be every bit as chill while playing the game as it is while not playing the game. So let's do this. You're seeing it more like a film standpoint than necessarily a game standpoint, I think, with reaction to the interactive movies. Yeah, I'm using this all as shorthand, but since I come from I come from a theater background, I've worked in films, and I used to do interactive, experimental, avant-garde theater as well, and then also with my background of game design. So I think I come into seeing the Netflix thing, and I'm like, you're not even doing this well, which is it's not necessarily the best. I feel it. Here, let me transition over. I'm not trying to say that it's bad. Please don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that I always find it really interesting, because a lot of times companies, they do these things from top down, where they're like, we have this idea, let's use the people we already know to make use of this idea, instead of sourcing ideas from the mediums that are more similar. So they sourced it from they sourced it based off of stuff that we've already seen in film medium before, rather than sourcing it from other interactive features that like games and streaming and theater have shown like are proven to work. So that was why my reaction to the Netflix thing was lukewarm, was just because I was like, I think there's a better way that you guys could have done this, and you have the resources to have invested in it in that way, but like maybe they wanted to take a low risk approach, you know what I mean? Can I make you a love potion? I don't know, maybe. Maybe. Colonization aside, you played mostly solo and felt a consistent pull through the gameplay, having not played an MMO in many years. Would you say, have you ever played like World of Warcraft or anything? Would you say that it's similar style to that, or does it deviate and have like kind of its own system? Because that's the part that I'm very curious about. From a theater background and have done experimental interactive experience, redundant. No. If you saw the kind of experimental theater I was talking about, it's very much not redundant. But I get what you're saying. I get the joke, but also you need it. Tinder hasn't been working. Okay, so let's check out the game. The Bandersnatch was a fun movie, and you liked the way that it was shot. I hope that they can come up with something good with it. Okay, so real quick before we start, I think it is important to recognize we are playing the early access version of this game, and so these are the things that the devs are considering putting into, or not considering, are intending to put into the game over the course of continued early access. So I'll show you the game, but like there's gonna be more potions added, more potion maps, new requirements, new goals. There's talents, so there's like a skill tree in this game, kind of. You have a garden that you can manage, and so they're planning to add upgrades and management to that. You can take notes in your recipes. It's all very... This game is really cool. This game is like... It's a very cool way of doing this that I haven't seen as much of, and it's just really cool. So, let's go. To love the potion may have side effects. No! Hello, Emily. Your sister was a theater major. I don't know. It depends on where you do theater. In my small town in Kansas, actually in the entire state of Kansas, the experimental theater group that I was a part of was the only experimental or avant-garde theater group around. And I didn't see it, like, there wasn't a section to, like, study it at my university or anything, because I tried to double major. It's fine. It's fine. Anyways, let's go. Not to read that as pecans. The studio will just keep making traditional games with licensed Netflix properties. Oh yeah, no, I think that's definitely what's gonna happen. In no way did I intend to imply that I thought that the people at Oxenfree were gonna stop making games. I'm just gonna stop talking about this because it seems like I'm not able to communicate myself clearly to anybody right now. I feel like I keep trying to say things and then I feel like it's not coming across well. I'm really not trying to say most of the things, so. They'll just launch a game store and add a tier to Netflix. I mean, it's always possible. New World deviates in typical MMO gameplay a touch, where the fighting is much more action-based. Left mouse is attack, right mouse is block with some hotkeyed special abilities. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like I remember older MMOs that like had that style of gameplay where you had to like be actively invested in order to grind. I think those MMOs also had like an auto grind button that you could hit for people who didn't, but it was like less efficient than playing normally. Interesting. What I'm like most excited for is like an innovation in the MMO space. And so I'm also not that, I also don't follow MMOs that closely, but like I'm so excited for an MMO that's not that similar to World of Warcraft because I don't enjoy World of Warcraft. So I'm like, oh, I can't wait until there's an MMO that I get to like try and see if I like it more. Hello, Barking Man. Oh, happy belated birthday! I'm glad you had a good one. Thank you for resubscribing. Welcome back to the fold, but happy belated birthday. The Witcher game that's based on the show was good. Sounds like an MMO to you, but you really haven't played one in forever, so it could definitely have been an old style. Yeah. I also didn't realize that until the Netflix series came out. Okay, so this is potion craft. And the way that it works, I think I've already been through this entire day, so I need to like sleep until the next day. But the way that it works is that you're an alchemist and you've come across this old house and you fix it up and you're using it as your shop. You click your bed to go to the next day. This is your shop when it's open and people are coming in. People come in and you offer them potions that you've brewed. You have your garden on this side where you can pick up ingredients, and back on this side, merchants come in that offer upgrades to your shop and also mushrooms and plants and stuff that you can buy. And then below, we've got like a basement that's filled with contraptions that you can upgrade, but it seems like it seems like this part of the machine, this part down here, I don't think that that's in the game right now. I think that that's still coming after early access because the upgrade section, shop upgrades, are still in development, is what it says. Oh, let me move my little bubble. Whoops, not that one. Wrong one, my friend. This one. There, now you guys can see all of the... now I'm like in the center screen. But now you guys can see all of the actual buttons. So like clicking on this, the shop upgrades are still in development. But you can see I've already brewed some potions and I have some ingredients. And then, so the cool thing about the way that this game does things is that basically you see as I hover over, is there a safe place to put my face? I think maybe I'll put my face down here. So just ignore the fact that I'm not looking in the right direction. But as I hover over, you see that there's different like directions that it shows that the potion, the ingredient goes towards. So as you brew potions, so I'm gonna put this in here. And I'm gonna mash it up. You see the X moving. That's how far on the map that I will go when I add this ingredient to the potion. So if I take this ingredient out and I stir, the potion moves down the map. Now, if I hit these bunches of skulls, I die and like my potion fails and I don't get the ingredients back. And so the goal is to bounce around past the skulls. These books are experience points, so you want to get them, and then you come across these kind of potion-shaped bubbles, and that's how you make the potion. So before you've made a certain kind of potion, it'll have a question mark in it, and you have to make it in order to find out what the result is. And then once you've made your path over, you can save the recipe into a recipe book. So these recipes, these potions that I have up here are recipes that I personally made and saved to them. So like all of these are technically the most efficient ways I could figure out to make these kinds of potions, except for the potion of poisoning, which I believe I messed up pretty bad and I like used way too many ingredients. Like I was like going backwards and forwards. So I saved like an inefficient use of that. So if I wanted to make another health potion, I could click this and it would automatically brew another health potion from the recipe that I made. So basically the goal here is to kind of find the most kinds of recipes and also the most efficient ways to make those recipes for your shop. And it's like a puzzly exploration game, if that makes sense. Yeah, so it's very cool. Let me, I'm gonna try to go like somewhere up here, I think, if I can. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I have that many good, but let's do one of these. Let's do one of these and go over in this direction. Womp, 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 womp. And then I want to go like up, I think. And I think I only have like one that really lets me go up directly, so I'll smash this up. I'm looking for new kinds of potions right now. I don't know what I don't know what this does. What happens if I try to make... Ooh! What does this do? Okay, I'm at the center. I guess nothing. I guess it doesn't do anything. But we do have a new thing. A new potion type over here, so I'm gonna try to go grab it. Smash, 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 smash. Yoink. Okay. Let's see what kind of potion this is. Ooh, lightning potion. So I used 4 ingredients to make it up here. I feel like that's probably pretty efficient. I don't have any space in my recipe book. I don't want to. Oh, I don't want to. I don't want to. How do I upgrade my recipe book? Maybe that's one of the shop upgrades that's coming later. Daily bonuses, experience, increases your visibility, and then haggling. Oh no, you can only save 5 potions at once. This is horrible. Okay, well, I'll finish this potion at least. So now I have a lightning potion. You really want what? The little mortar and pestle? I know. I want a mortar and pestle too because I feel like it would be nice to like drink tea. You know, to like grind tea up into a fine powder and put it in my drinks. Maybe that would be fine. Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep until the next day so that we can start selling to customers again. The game also gives you a lot of goals. So this is the alchemist path. Right now I'm on chapter 2. And you can see that there's a bunch of different chapters. Finishing these gives you experience, and you have to kind of finish all of them in order to make it to the next chapter. So it does give you some goals if you're the person who needs goals, and these are legendary recipes. I have no idea what they are. I haven't made it to anything with them yet. Yeah. So let's go see people. Oh, hello. Hello, I see you recently opened. I'm also an alchemist, but I'm just passing through town. Collecting some ingredients and selling alchemy equipment. Alchemy equipment, you say? Only have enchanted paper. Oh, expand my recipe book! Yes, yes, literally. Literally, I needed that right now. I don't even have enough money for it. Wait, I can sell stuff. Oh, he's not gonna pay anything for any of my stuff. This is nothing. Okay, I'm gonna try to haggle it. Maybe I can I use my talent points to make things? Yeah, okay, let's try. Let's try to haggle for it. Let's see if we get this. So haggling is like a rhythm game, basically. So if I get a good deal, I can bring the price down by 40, which would mean it would be affordable for me. Let's try. Huh, huh. Ha! 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 We did it! Now I can save my lightning recipe. Alright, thanks, guy. I wish I had more money. The sheets in the recipe book are made of special enchanted paper. The enchantment slows down the paper's aging and allows you to edit existing recipes. You can even completely erase an old recipe and write a new one instead. In addition, sheets of enchanted paper can be conveniently bound into the recipe book. Cool. Well, please come back soon when I'm rich. Brew a beer that warms your bones on the coldest days. The recipe is almost ready, but for the beer to be warm, something like liquid fire. What else do you add to your beer? Secret recipe. Okay. Well, let me go make I have saved my weak potion of fire. Oh, I don't have enough of the... There we go. I'll be able to make a single weak potion of fire. Okay, let's go. Make a weak potion of fire. Brew. Give it to him so he can make good beer. You want your good beer? Here you go. I'm not gonna haggle for higher prices because you can get a higher reputation for your shop by not haggling with people. So I'm gonna try not to for now. I don't really know what my goal is at the moment. What? My son was playing with friends and twisted his ankle. Here's a healing potion, my dear. Children who wander into the forest play by the lake have started going missing. They think it's a merman. Mermen flee at the sound of thunder. Here's a lightning potion. There you go. Give me the money. Who else do you sell herbs to? People in town. Some people use them as seasoning. Brewing new kinds of beer. Ooh. Ice fruit. Hairy banana. I've never had one of these, so I guess I'll buy one of each, and there goes all of my money. Wait, I'm haggling. Oh, Okay. I don't know if that brought the price down that much, but that's fine. All right, goodbye, my fellow merchant friend. You wish all haggling involved skill games? If you try to haggle at Walmart, you'll get kicked out. Haggling is a thing in other places. Yeah, not at department stores, though. Buy a potion for our battle mage. He's been complaining that his magical powers have waned. There's a potion that helps mages to recover. Yes, a mana potion. I have one of those. Here you go. Massive anthill appeared near my house, and now ants are everywhere. Need something to get rid of the annoying bugs and fast. Is that like a poison, maybe? Do you need a poison? And also right now, the only potions that we have unlocked up here are water-based potions. So eventually, I can get new potion bases and explore new, like, potion maps. I really like haggling. I think haggling is very fun. But I probably get ripped off a lot. But, like, you know, all in the name of fun. What was I doing? Right, potion. Poison potion. Do you need a poison for the anthill? Okay, I guess that's fine. Black Metal Luna! Thank you for following. Enjoy your apprenticeship here. If the value is there, you'll pay. You like set prices? You end up doing it on eBay sometimes. I think haggling can be pretty fun, but it's only fun when you're buying something you don't need, right? When you're haggling for something you need, it's not fun anymore. It's very stressful. Blah, blah, blah. We got attacked by bandits. I was stabbed with a knife. I'm lucky to be alive. I need to recover. All right, here's a healing potion, my friend. Healing potions are the cheapest kind of potion that I sell. And that honestly feels a little rude to me personally. Maybe a fire potion would work for the ants. I could try swapping in and out different kinds of potions and see if they would accept them. Let me brew just like some. Oh, how many I can't even make I can't make a light potion. Woof. I am missing ingredients for a lot of these potions. But at least I have a lot of ingredients for the health potions. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's fine for now. I'll go to sleep. I'll go to sleep. I want to like store up my ingredients for right now, I think. But he said they were inside the house too. And you'd rather have the best quality work or pay for the value you see in their product? Interesting. Yeah, I definitely don't see haggling in that way. Haggling feels a lot more like a game to me that you're playing with somebody else, where like it's like a game of chicken almost, and it's just about like, you know, if the prices you offer are too low, they're not going to accept those prices. If the prices they offer are too high, you're not going to accept those prices. And then depending on how much you need the thing, you know, you'll compromise on how much money you're giving them. And it's like a fun little like sparring battle to me. Then again, I learned to haggle in Vietnam, so it's where like it's very normal for everybody to haggle all the time. So my experience is probably not the same, because like when it's expected, it's not, you know, it feels different. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save the talent point. Or you could go so you're not just blind. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, hello. Oh, you're a dwarf. What are you selling? I'm a miner. I dig. Look for gifts of mountains, stones, minerals, crystals. Sell some rare gems. Not cheap, you say. Oh, interesting. Interesting. They have like a different kind of dots to them. Like these are dashed lines and these are dots. That's very interesting. Well, I can't buy anything. Goodbye, my friend. A flea market or eBay, yeah. Sign a contract so they can't sue you if they get someone killed. We're in the medieval times. Contracts don't exist. There's no court to enforce them. The newer ones do a lot of stuff. I've been looking at the newer Tamagotchis. Yeah. I mean, that's fair, Chase. That's fair. Like I said, I've only really known about haggling in the context of Vietnam. I lost my flint somewhere and now I can't light a fire, so you need a little fire potion. You need a little fire potion, my friend. Fire potion indeed. Or would a light potion... Like, what happens if I try to offer her a light potion? She doesn't want it. Wow. Okay, that was quite rude actually, but okay. Good day. Ooh, new popularity level 3. What does that mean? People say you sell potions of some kind, plus 10% to the price of potions. Chance for discounts on goods is 5% greater. Chance of markup on goods is 5% lower. Increase your popularity by selling potions. Higher quality potions give more popularity. Haggling lowers the amount of popularity gained. Denying customer service or making them leave decreases popularity. That's fair. Never trust a dwarf. I don't seem to ever get out of this house in this game, so going on a long crusade soon. And what better to support a fighting spirit than a flask of ale? The sun will heat up my flask. Okay, so you want an ice potion. I don't even know if I have an ice potion recipe saved. I do. I can't brew it! Okay, let me try to figure out if there's a different way that I can make this ice potion. Let's go! Go team! Ice potion, go team! Okay, I don't have any more of those. I'm just gonna put it in half mashed like that. Half mash. Oh, I'm close enough. I think I am. Heck yeah. Do I want to save this recipe instead? Let me see. Wind bloom, tangleweed, and oh, yeah. I'll probably save it instead just because I feel like I don't even have the ingredients for the other recipe, really. All right, let's give this guy his ice potion. Your current Tamagotchi character has pizza on its head. I want one of the new Tamagotchis. They seem really fun. I was like looking at them, but I'm like, aren't the new Tamagotchis, like, to buy them new, aren't they like $50 or something? Which I feel like speaks to the fact that they're probably full real games now, but like, oh, I didn't make an ice potion. This is the ice. I'm a fool. I am le fool. Ah, blast the color blue and twinkling stars being associated in my head with ice. Smash, 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 smash. We're doing it. Okay. So now I just need to get up there. Hopefully that's not too hard to get up there. I'll just put it in here like that. There we go. Okay, who wants to take me up? You. There we go. Bam. Actual ice potion. Oh, I saved it as a different recipe, did I? Okay, I don't... can I delete this recipe? Yes. There we go. Perfect. Hello, sir. Here's your freaking troublesome ice potion. Oh, the last generation. So maybe. Okay. I was just walking down the street minding my own business when a flower pot fell out of nowhere and bonked me on the head. Oh, so he just needs a healing potion? Don't walk under flower pots, my friend. Oh, it's the mushroom guy. Wink back. I feel like maybe I should just save my money for right now. I feel like I'll save my money for right now. Neighbor's livestock. Spice your vegetables up with something special so your neighbor has fewer livestock. Yikes! Well, don't tell your neighbor where you got this from, my friend. Oh! Oh, wait, there's morality to this. Interesting. So if you sell bad potions, if you sell potions to people who are doing bad things, then your reputation becomes evil. So you can have a good reputation or a bad reputation. That's interesting. Okay. Hello, Reptile. Oh, I'm sorry, Mysterio. The fact that you got in to have an interview is a very, very good sign. It means it's just a matter of time. You need to paint my house to make it more unique. You thought it would be cool to paint the walls with glow-in-the-dark paint! Do I have a potion that makes glow in the... I don't know, a light potion? Oh, okay. Damn, I want to use a light potion to paint my walls. What the heck? Blah, blah, blah. Barrel of gun... What? A barrel of gun? You want me to find you a barrel of gunpowder? Sir? Barrel of gunpowder. Right. Maybe I'll go in like towards the potion path or poison path. Maybe I'll find gunpowder somewhere over there if I do that. Yoink. I don't even think that I like can go that far in this. I don't think I have that many ingredients to take me in that direction, really. I'll just take this down, yeah, down there. Ooh! Hey! Thank you for the 76 and the 60 biddies. Thank you. Also, cheers, Reptile. I think so, Catalos. I'm very curious to see it when it's like more fully implemented into the game. I don't know that this is gonna help me go anywhere. Let's put this one in. Smash, 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 smash. Fuck. I think that this might lose me the potion. Oh dear. I see, for the trickier potions. I don't know, let's see if this does it. I don't know if this is gonna do it. Yep. Well, we see that there's a new potion down there, but I don't think I have enough potions that take me down. Jeez. I guess I could keep going. Maybe I can look up instead. See what there is up and to the right. And then up more? And then up again. Oh wait, not yet. Put this in there. And then up again, let's see. Yoink. Okay, that didn't actually like explore anything. The mellow cream pumpkins. I really do not like candy corn. You can absolutely take all of the candy corn that you want from me for Halloween. Ooh. Okay, so there we do have a new potion. Let's see what new potion this is. This is a bounce! A bounce potion. Interesting. Interesting. Bounce potion. I do like cheesecake. Did you know there are even people who don't like cheesecake? Listen, I don't think cheesecake is for everyone. It's such a strong flavor. It's a strong flavor. Especially if you, like, listen, if you ever get cheesecake at the store, I don't know what they do with the crumble base, but like, I've been to, Safeway and like Dillon's in Kansas, and like the crumble base, it's not that good. It's not that good. It's not the same. Okay, let me try to go past the me try to go past the... Let's just go all the way to the right again. Because I have a lot of plants that will take me to the right. To the right, to the right. Every potion you own in a box to the right. In the closet, yeah, that's my stuff. If I bought it, please don't touch. I'm pretty sure that doesn't, like, stand up in a... I guess it stands up in a court of law if you're not married. Anyways, making cheesecake is surprisingly easy. You can't eat that much cheesecake anymore. You know, they have pretty good non-dairy cheesecake, actually. How would one describe the flavor of candy corn? Because for me, I would describe it as chalky, but I think that might upset some people. Okay, let's see what kind of potion this one is. Sleep potion! That's fun. That's fun. I don't think that helps his friend, but it's a sleep potion. Okay, maybe is there anything that can take me to the left? No, I don't have enough of the thing that can take me to the left, but you can just take me up as up as I want to go. I don't think I have enough ingredients to help you, my friend. I must turn you away. What? Don't give me an evil reputation for turning you away. What the heck? Evil? Create a potion with an effect of tier 2 or higher. How do I do that? Let me try to make a really effective healing potion. I want to see if I can do it. Do I have the things to make the healing potion? I might not. I might not. I might need to go to sleep before I try this. Why this happens? Just ask for the Subway and then eat it several hours from now. That's what I always do. Oh, congratulations, Blasty! Oh, is everybody safe and healthy? Wow, gotta love an early arrival. You make non-dairy pumpkin cheesecake using tofu? Please. Oh my God, I would love to know. I would love to know. Go, Violet, go. You get your sub. I don't know if love potions exist in this game. Sorry. I haven't seen any love potions in this game so far. Yeah. Hello, my wizard friend. Do you have a shop too? No, I don't have a shop. I have a laboratory. I have a laboratory. Dee. So we're not competitors. Mm-hmm. So he does research and experimentation for money. What if this guy's evil? Interesting. Buy me a piece of this, please. Oh, they made haggling harder. Hup. Oh. Go. Oh, God, I'm not doing it well. The price is going up instead of down. That's not what we wanted. Oh, my God, this is the worst. This is the worst. I can't even afford it anymore. Okay. Hup. Nope. Nope. I can't buy, I don't want to haggle with you anymore. Show me your goods. Let me buy this. Fudge! Okay. A tear. Everyone's good! You named her Clara! Oh, that's so cute! Welcome to the world, Clara! I'm born on International Daughters Day. I don't know. It seems like your daughter's got a really good sense of timing. That definitely bodes well. That is fortuitous. Congratulations! I'm so glad everybody's okay. That must be very exciting. Then we befriend him. Do you need to get everyone in a row? You don't need to get everyone in a row. Essentially, like... over time, so when you begin haggling or actually, let me just, a potion that can brew a beer that will always stay cold. Here, let me just show you, I can explain it easier when I am looking at it instead of just trying to talk about it to you. Fudge! No, I don't have any okay. Let me try to make another frost potion. Oh wait, let me get my, I already did, damn it. Not to the right. You go to the right, you go down. Okay, so you're gonna go... Okay, I guess I have to go all the way down, huh? I don't get to pick how far down I go. Unlike with the mortar and the pestle, you can pick how far down you go. Okay, how about that? How about that? Is that a good ice potion? No! Oh, I moved myself out! I moved myself away! Okay, there we go. Ice potion. Hup, 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 finish potion. All right, here you go, my friend. Let us haggle over this potion. No, this one. Okay. So basically, once you begin haggling, over time, it will automatically lean towards the other person's favor. And so as soon as you click, it starts the haggling. If you click the green portion of the screen, the hands at either end, it automatically ends the haggle. And so essentially, and also, so if you hit the box, it goes in your direction. If you take too much time, or if you miss the box, it goes in their direction. And just like over time, the odds are in their favor. So it's one of those things where you want to do it really fast in order to make it happen. Hello, Nathan. Your father was born on his mother's birthday and Mother's Day. Hey. I was born a week after my dad, which is very fun. Ha, 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 ha. There we go. Give me that 23 gold. My silly husband managed to pinch his hand in the gate yesterday. Now instead of working, he's lying on the bench, supposedly waiting for his hand to heal. Wow, don't call your husband a bum. That seems pretty rude, my lady friend person. Oh, I have another. Okay, yeah. Let me make the cost of everything go up. I need more poison. I don't think I need to remind you of the terms of our deal. Sir, I don't actually know what the terms of our deal were, so I don't know what I'm helping you with, but I'm gonna watch and see how much evil points I get for helping you. 30! I might have, like... I don't know... Do you think he's murdering real people? Because... I do not have enough herbs. What do you do when you're not gathering herbs? I go into the deep woods, choose a picturesque spot, and listen to the birds sing. I even sing to myself if no one is listening. My friend. I have water blooms. I have these. I have enough of those. I don't have many valerian roots. Oh, these are on sale. I'll get them if they're on sale, my friend. And I'll get like 2 of the roots. Let me try to haggle real quick. Bam. Crushed it. Goodbye. Goodbye. Giving a person poison who says don't ask. Well, apparently we already had a deal and I missed it. Connor, you cannot conclusively trace those potions back to me. Okay, you cannot conclusively. How's business? I heard about a rare fish spotted nearby. It comes out at night and eats only fireflies. If you can give me some kind of glowing potion. How will you use a potion for bait? I'll take a worm and dunk it in the potion. Alright, that's clever. Good on you, sir, for using magic creatively like that. That's the kind of creativity we need in this medieval world. Alchemist, I need special mushrooms for a certain ritual. They usually appear around this time, but they haven't come out yet. I was hoping to speed up their growth. Do I have a potion to speed up growth? Will this work? No. How about this? How about this? Oh! I didn't even know that that could happen. Okay, so don't do what I just did. My bad. If we needed murder poison, I'd probably lie and be like, we had a deal. Give me my murder beverage. Tell it to the judge. Joke's on you. There are no judges in the 1200s. Ha ha ha. Greetings. I'm dealing with a gang of thugs. At least I don't think that we like established worldwide like legal. We didn't establish like a wide legal system until Napoleon, I believe. I'm sorry. I'm like, BRB, let me history nerd. I need a potion that makes my sword strike true, but also imbued with magic. Okay, mana potion? No, never mind. Let's get you a fun potion. How about? Do you want a? No, not a fire. No, no, not one of those. Poison? You want a poison? You want a poison? Ah, you're. I don't feel like I'm doing too hot at my shop right now. I love explosions! They're a true art form. Yesterday I was caught in a downpour and now my bombs are all useless. So there's definitely an exploding potion that I can find somewhere. Maybe this is it. I wonder if I can get... I have 2 downs. I have 3 downs. I have a thing that lets me move to the right. Okay. We're gonna try it. We're gonna see what that potion down there is. Let's go. Get down there. Okay, that's good. Get down here. Let's see if we can go, yes, down in this direction. Let's pestle, pestle, pestle. Okay, stop there. So let's do this one. Yep. All right, now we just need to get down fully down there. How do we do it? Ooh! Is this how you get to potion level 2? You put your potion right on top? Oh, lady, come back. I got your potion. Damn it. Lady, I got your potion. Well, now we know how to make a potion with level tier 2. Trial by jury, 1166. Duh, blast it. Okay, so that's not the explosion potion. Maybe there's one past the fire, but I don't know that I have that many things that go left. To the left, I only have 2 of Valyrian lava root in the closet. That's to the left is also over there. Keep touching the fire potions. Should I tell you about my fire potion? Okay. Is there anything else that can send me over a little bit? That would work a little bit, just so that I can see. Oops, did I? Oh, I threw it all the way over here. Just so that I can see if there's anything. Damn it, but there's, oh. Let's try it. Smash, 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 smash. No! All those ingredients I've wasted. All right, what did you want? Bombs? What about this? All right, go home. Go home, I don't have anything for you. Oh, but I get to be a good person now. Apparently, helping a person who likes to blow stuff up is an immoral act. Listen, I think that I can help a person who likes to blow stuff up. I don't know, what if he's blowing up the rock that's blocking the way to the Lon Ranch, you know? I don't know what he's blowing up. Maybe he's building a quarry. You know what I mean? I can't judge. I cannot deal with this from you right now, Chase. I can't, I am not responsible. The woodchuck dilemma. Woodchuck dilemma? Because all that came to my mind was the how much wood could a woodchuck chuck? Heck yeah, thank you, mushrooms. How much do they blow stuff up? What are you? What do you sell? In any goods. Oh, okay, so he just does whatever. Oh, are you like the cheap one? Are you the cheap guy? Okay, well let's buy everything that's on sale. Buy some of these. Buy some of these. Buy one of these. One of these, one of these, one of these, one of these. How much is that? That's already a lot. They're all for cheapsies though. Maybe let me see if there's one of these that lets me go leftier. This one does. All right, so now let's just hope that I can haggle and win. Damn it! Okay. Okay. Well, goodbye. Hello, you're heading to market, but his back went out. Yeah, here you go. Thanks. You work for the money. You work for the money. A tiny but troublesome creature has gotten into my home. It already ate its way through my pickles and pantry. Every night it eats the porridge I leave for the morning. I want to poison the porridge and put an end to the evil sprite. Guys, should we help this lady kill the evil sprite? I don't know. Cause I don't know. How evil is this sprite? It's just a wild creature, but also it's eating her food and she might die of famine. It's not a very attractive bonnet, but I thought I may as well buy it as not. Yeah, that's accurate. That's accurate to Lydia. Let me see if yeah, I became a good person. My home lies on the other side of a river, but the rest of my village is on the other. Every time I need to go to town, I take a long detour. I want to try freezing the river so I can pass over it to the other side. Sir, I don't know whether that'll work, but I will brew you the potion to see. Best of luck on your foolhardy mission, my friend. Listen, it is not my responsibility to tell others whether the things that they want to do with their life are bad to do. It is simply my duty as an alchemist to make possible their dreams and wishes. You see. Here you are! Good luck, my friend! I hope I see you again! I hope you live to see the light of day. Mushrooms are always in high demand. People dry them in winter, pickle them, and the brewer adds them to his forest draught. The fisherman sometimes uses mushrooms for bait. Everybody wants my mushrooms. Well, not me, my friend. Farewell. Another healing potion. Good luck, my friend. You seem to need it. All right, let's go healing potion. Let me try. I want to see if I can make a healing potion of level 2 where it's stronger because I'm landing it in the proper spot. You know what I mean? So now I just need to make it go down a little bit more. Cool. Let me actually delete this recipe and save this recipe instead. So now we have a level 2 healing potion. How much money you gonna give me, my friend? Is this one level 2? Potion of healing, weak potion. Potion of healing. I would pay more for something higher grade. Sir, I literally just, sir. Sir. Hello, Noonie. I don't tell people how to use them. Listen, I'm a healer and I need a potion to restore your magical powers. Sure, my dear. Here you are. My neighbor always... Why does my neighbor always have a bounteous harvest and fat cattle while you can't grow anything? And all of your animals died out by the end of the winter? My goodness, what? Oh, is this the neighbor whose cows we helped to poison? I mean, it would be profitable for me to continue this neighborly spat. However, I don't think that the cows should suffer. I'm really unlucky with my fellow soldiers in the barracks. Oh, a sleeping potion? Here you go, my friend. Sleeping potion. Ho. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought he was gonna do. All right, good night. Sorry. I hope your headache goes away. Set to the farm ablaze. A blizzard, in fact. Sleep again. I've been in business for a week, fam. For a whole week. All right. I really enjoy the art style that they chose for this game and the music. I'm really excited to see this game in its full glory when it's out of early access. Hello, my friend. Creating solutions in the alchemy machine is the pinnacle of the alchemy arts. Grinding herbs and brewing potions in a cauldron is, of course, no easy task either, but the machine will take your potion craft to the next level. If you think you're ready to solve the mystery of the Philosopher's Stone and other legendary substances, you'll have to spend a lot of time experimenting with the machine and finding the best recipes. 1,500! Sir, I can't even afford your recipe pages. I can't even afford your enchanted paper, my friend. Well, I guess I can at least try to buy it. Let's haggle. Bam! Crushed it. An animated, illuminated manuscript, yeah. For maximum profit. Rover, no! Cease this! Yeah, I was about to get really excited because we have a growth potion. Heal your injured fingers faster. Here's a weak potion for healing. Here you go, goodbye. There's a house in our village where a witch once lived. She died a long time ago and no one lives in the house since. But lately, terrible screams can be heard coming from it at night. Now the villagers want to burn the house down, but not with ordinary fire. We heard enchanted fire is more reliable. You know, I don't know. As an alchemist, I feel like maybe I shouldn't burn the witch, cause like, you know. But what if she's doing something bad, you know? What if this is like, you know, like necromancer in D&D gonna take over town council? Do it. Burn the house? Actually, let's do a poll. You all, I'm not going down this path alone. All right, good luck. I'm not going down this path of immorality alone, you understand me? Can't they just raise a family in peace? Boo! Boo! Moving on up in the world. Listen, that is the place that they have positioned me in. I was originally just giving them the potions that they needed, but lo and behold, now I'm assisting some guy in murder and I've got a very evil reputation. Actually, at the moment, I have a very positive reputation. But you know, witches are just trying to live their lives. Well, it seems like a lot of people want to burn the witch. What? You guys, witches are so cool though. But witches are so cool though. But there are rumors. I don't know that there's rumors. Yeah, rumors. I left it to you and now there is a tie. It's true. I have done this. Of course, but we're all good witches here. When was the last time any of you set fire to a building intentionally? You better say never. You better say never. The poll is on Twitch. So it's happening in the Twitch box. I believe that it should be on mobile now as well. You plead the fifth. Okay, I did say intentionally. To be fair, the last time I intentionally set something on fire was very recently, and it was a candle. Ha-ha! What? You've been hoarding a book on fire magic? Chase, what the hell? All right, well, okay. It's up to me. I'm not gonna burn the witch. I love witches. That made me... Oh, that made me good. That made me good. That made me good. Okay, I was like, that made me evil? It made me good. I have a well on my property. Scary sounds are coming from it. We believe it. There's a monster trying to come out, so I decided to throw a bomb in the well. I don't even have that for you, so I can't help you with that. Also, I'm pretty sure maybe it's a child. How long have you been an herbalist? As long as I can remember. I've wandered the woods and meadows since I was a child, observing nature and studying plants. It's a family trade, and I learned a lot from my elders. Okay, good job. Good for you. Oh, I don't even have this much money. Rip. Rippery-doo-dah, rippery-day. I still can't pay for it. Goodbye. Oops. Motorette, thank you for following. Enjoy your apprenticeship here. No questions. It's a tie. Of course it's a tie. My good rep went up, I thought. It said it had an angry face with horns, and then it said -2, which I thought meant minus evil rep. But then again, I think I have fewer. Hello, help me are you the Witcher? Your supply of potions. All right. Are you a hunter, my friend? So you're the Witcher. So he's the Witcher. Is he the Witcher? He seems like the Witcher. Yeah, I can help your flowers grow. Let me help your flowers grow. This potion will do. Muh. Muh. There are rumors of a sorcerer nearby with a strange scar on his forehead. My unit was ordered to arrest him. The sorcerer with the strange scar on his head is kind of like a little bit maybe my friend, and he sells me alchemy supplies, so no. My friends and I found a map with a red cross on it, and telling by the layout of the map, the place is not too far from here. Need a light source to dig. These people really do come to me and they're like, hey, just so you know, here's everything. Like, I could go out, I could follow these people and I could bop them in the head and I could steal their treasure. Don't do this. Don't be like this. If you guys find a treasure, don't tell shopkeepers. Don't tell anybody until you have the treasure. But also maybe tell like an archaeologist or something. It's probably a historically valuable find, probably. So, wouldn't a candle be like way too? Shut up, Chase. Okay, you're not helping me out right now by doing this. Okay, a paying customer is a paying customer. Okay. Maybe it's windy. A literal treasure map with an X to mark the spot. That's fair and also not my problem. I am a mere alchemist. I make potions and send people on their way. Do you mine these yourself? With brothers. Together we are stronger. Dig deep tunnels. Fight creatures. Why does this dwarf speak in very short sentences? Oh. Earth pyrite. Hey. That does indeed look like pyrite. I don't want to buy it though. I kind of got to start saving my money eventually. Chase, get out of my shop. You're not allowed to be an alchemist's apprentice anymore. Need something to get the fire going. We didn't start the fire. It's always been burning since the world's been turning. We didn't start the fire. I have enough fire bells at this point that I might be able to even make it past the fire potion. It's always been burning since the world been turning. We didn't start the fire. Okay. I'm not gonna finish that potion. I would like to go this direction. I still want to see what's out in this direction. Exploring, up or down, up or down, up or down, up or down. Let's go this way. Okay, no real answer to the question of which direction to go towards, but let's hope that this doesn't cancel out the whole potion. It might, though. Oh. Okay, I'm just gonna finish the potion. Finish the potion while you're ahead! Okay. Hello, would you like this fire potion? Here you go. It's quite rude. You're back? Do you have Subway? I'm trying to catch a mean fish. Believe it or not, the little thing breathes fire. A frost potion, indeed. What is this fisherman's... like, what is he doing out here? I feel like I might need to re-record my ice potion recipe because I'm never able to replicate it. But I'm not going to save that one because that one, I'm not going to have those mushrooms again. I have all the luck with strange fish. I've caught a piranha and even a zombie fish. All right, my friend. Man, this guy sure gets in a lot of scuffles. He's always coming in for healing potions, never coming in for anything else. Poor guy. At least I can offer him a higher quality potion of healing. Ah, the bread will get soggy. Ah, that's fair, that's fair. I didn't think about that. A potion of undeath? Nah. Nah, man, what kind of potions do you think we sell here? Potions of undeath. Come on. Almost 50 years now he's been collecting mushrooms. What a nice life this man has. Yeah, I'm still not gonna buy more of those though, sorry. Cockroaches, gross. Okay, I'll give you like a poison potion. Here you are, my dear. Kill those cockroaches. They say you know how to make potions. They say you know how to make potions, plus 10% of the price of potions. Merchants have 25% more ingredients. Chance for discounts is 5% greater. Chance of markup is 5% lower. Penalty for a customer being refused or leaving is higher? That's not fair. Maybe it is, Motoret. These people are very... Whoa. No offense, Harvest, but what you thought I was is not my responsibility, okay? You can make all of the assumptions that you want to, Harvest, and that's your job, so... I have a crush on a young man. Oh, no. No. Oh my god, you can lose a popularity level? Oh, this game is harder than I thought it was. I set the parchment on fire. It's gone now. Hunting an ancient ghoul. A potion that harnesses the element of thunder and lightning. Okay, you got it. Got it, brah. Let's use this one. You know, you could probably, while making this game, you could probably try to find a way to only use the same kinds of ingredients over and over so that you only had to restock those ones. You know what I mean? This is a really, like, fuzzy mushroom, and that's... I don't know about that. Okay. You know what they always say, fuzzy mushrooms. You know. You know. And let me see if I can save this potion recipe. Oh, these were the same recipe. Poops. Poopsie daisies. Save potion, finish potion. Put a stopper in death? The smithy will be able to save you. All right, good night, Harvest. Thank you for coming. Sleep well. Also, congratulations to what you said to me in DMs. No boots, no one dead. Do I? Hello, Ruby. How are you doing? It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about any of this. I didn't know these potions sold for so much. Someone had an accident in the garden. The site is not for the faint of heart. I need the flowers and grass to grow rapidly and help you hide the mess. Well, that doesn't seem like an evil action. I'll help you out. How could making plants grow ever be an evil? Let's do it. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Smash, 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 smash. Yuck! Let me see if I can get us further in the circle. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. See if there's... Ooh. Dang. Couldn't get us to the 2. Here you are, my friend. Enjoy your beautiful garden. Did that make me evil or good? It said minus 30. I guess that gave me evil points, huh? Alas. I guess I'm evil. Oh! Oh. Well, I'm glad you got your second vaccine dose, but I am sorry. My second vaccine dose was also super rough. I'm glad that you're doing better now. Thank you, Aggro. Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep again. I feel like I'm not very good as an alchemist yet, but I guess I've only been in business for 9 days, so who really expects more of me? You know what I mean? You get what you. I'm the only alchemist in town. You get what you get. A fruit merchant. A frost potion. Yes, let me help you, my friend. Every time. It's because I don't have any more of the tangleweed. Smash, 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 smash. I'm a potions genius. Thank you. That means a lot to me coming from the town smithy, you know? Woof, that was a close one. Okay, I'm gonna save this as the new recipe, I think. Yeah. Or unless I can... I do have a lot of these, so I don't think I need to worry about... Nice. Alright, let me... delete this old potion of frost. Save the new recipe, finish the potion. It's a level 2 potion of frost. Everything's upgrading. That's how I make more money. I have to make everything level 2 potions. A literal booster. Made you grow a foot taller? Got it. A literal booster. Sunday was just ridiculous. A huge fever. Yeah. Mine took me out for a straight up week, but I also have a weak body, so I was happy when that was done. I can't take like fever reducers, so I just had to write it out. It was not fun. Our unit is a camp of bandits. Ah, you would like to blind the bandits. I hope that these are indeed bandits and not a highway patrol, my friend. Yesterday I found a stray puppy! I'm gonna give you medicine for your doggo. Do you want some medicine for your little doggo? Yeah, doggo. Ice bath. This map-based brewing system. It's very cool. I think it's a really great idea because it gives you so much incentive to keep going back and redoing the potions to make them more efficient, better, cheaper ingredients and all that. It's really cool. Give me any advice on growing herbs in my garden. Don't you know why everything grows so fast in your garden? It's because of the enchanted tree. Such trees are a true rarity. Practically any plant can grow next to the enchanted tree, even those that usually grow in completely different conditions. I can't wait for them to add upgrading things so that I can upgrade my enchanted tree. Do you think if we upgrade our enchanted tree enough, it's gonna look like a magic tree? Do you think it's gonna like glow? Give me it. Show me your goods. I can buy at least like 3 of these, I think. Thank you, my friend. Goodbye. And I also like the fact that like the customers that you have seem to be the same people over and over, and they seem to have progressing plot lines according to whether you give them the potions that they need and what kind of potions you give them. So that makes me really, really curious about what's gonna, like, what the end game of this is gonna be like, you know? I also don't even know how high your popularity level can go, so, I swear to heck this guy's only alive because I'm keeping him alive with my potions at this point. Goodbye. That was the guy who murdered somebody, definitely. He said, today I need acid, don't let me down. What are you up to, sir? Apparently he told me what he was up to and I didn't pay attention. Special beer for rowdy guests. Oh, a sedative. I can help you put people to sleep. I can sleep. Let's do that one. Let's do this one. Okay. Do this one again. And some of these. Let's go. And also, because, like, you can... If I were trying harder to get the books, which I'm not motivated to do, but if I were trying harder to get the books, I bet things would be progressing more rapidly than they are now. I have no one to blame but myself. Ooh, can't... Ooh, there we go, my friend! Mon ami. Oops. Stick it back in there. Nice. I wish I could save this recipe. Alas. Finish dat potion. Why wouldn't they... Maybe they shouldn't let drunks into the maybe they shouldn't let drunks into the tavern. My friend, maybe they shouldn't send assassins to the alchemist. Come on now. Here you are, my friend. From the potion seller video. Hey, Yellow Ring. It's going pretty well. All right, sleep well, Zareka. I hope you sleep well. Like I said, I think this was going to be a shorter stream today. I'm a little low on spoons. So I'm going to stream until the point where I'll get a headache from fatigue and then I'll stop. The person I need to, let's say, take care of goes to the bathhouse. If I give you this, am I not going to be poisoning like a whole bunch of other people? Listen, I don't know why he's been asked to poison this person. Maybe they're a good person. But maybe they're not a good person, right? You usually don't get assassinated without offending some people, so here you go. Oh, I became very evil. That's fine. Listen, I am a purveyor of magic. It is not on me to be a moral authority for the assassins. They're doing their job. Tell people to drink it and have it like glow, right? Yeah. There are like modern day herbalists, like apothecaries, and they usually do tea. At least as far as I can tell, they do like, because there's like apothecaries here in Seattle and they do a lot of like tea. Sometimes they do like bath salt mixes with herbs and stuff. That stuff's cool. Like I look at those people and I'm like, you found a way to make this your job. That's awesome. Create a potion with 2 different effects. Oh! Oh! Let me try. Let me brew a light potion and then try to make it a fire potion. See what happens then. Maybe it'll be the explosion potion. Perfect. Ooh, damn, I missed it. Potion of light and fire! That's cool! You get to mix. Oh, man. This game gets cooler over time. Oh, and I've already completed some things on level 3. And can be used to trick sick people. That's fair. And so it would be morally okay for you to do? That's fair. I mean, if people want to drink tea because it benefits their health, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that, as long as the apothecary isn't insinuating that, like, drink this tea and it's gonna cure your cancer, you know? Like, cause tea does have effects, like, especially if it has, like, caffeine or something in it. I don't really know enough about herbs, but my friend is a farmer. She's a farmer scientist. My friend is both a farmer and a scientist. She now works for this institute in Kansas that is about taking plants and making them do things, like making them be able to grow in extreme drought and stuff like that. It's like a very sciencey kind of thing. One of the things they were working on was making plants glow to replace. They wanted to make trees glow to replace street lamps. I'm sorry, it would just be very cool. All of that is to say that there's probably potential for, you know, for good stuff from plants. She always makes herbal stuff because she just grows it. So she's like, yeah, chamomile, here you go. Like an agriculturalist or something. Yeah, I do not know what her official job title is. I should probably ask her what her official job title is so that it's not just farm scientist. I happen to know so many mages and enchanters. Okay, I will buy a couple, my mon friend. I'll buy 3. I'ma haggle you. Well, did I make that better for myself? I think I made it worse, but that's fine. Farmer scientists are, like, everything she tells me about her work is super cool. Valerian tea can help with tea from what I'm aware. Yeah, I don't, like, know enough about anything, but I but I do know that she, cause I have all my physical ailments, right? So she makes different kinds of, like, herbal things to send to me. And the ones that I've had that she's given me, they work, but, like, she's also a scientist. So, like, I feel like she probably, like, I've never like asked her to explain to me her process. Now that I think about it. And so, yes, I will help you heal, my friend. Bringing the American chestnut back from the brink of extinction. Make it happen. You have a grudge against Chinese traditional medicine? I you know, do not know enough about that. Do not know enough about that at all. You've heard a lot of people who have really bad, oh, yeah. Yeah, super, super hard agree, Violet. It's what I don't know. There's definitely, like, listen, going out there, like, looking for help with an autoimmune disease when my doctors won't help, there's so much, like, pseudoscience-y BS that you find about, like, what you're supposed to do or what's supposedly causing the thing that's causing your illness, and, like, you know, take these herbs or take these pills or block EMFs or, you know, all of the things for, like, these are all of the reasons that will help you because modern science won't, like, doesn't know how to help. So it's like, it's one of the, there's definitely so many people out there preying upon people who are, like, desperate for anything to maybe help them. And it's like, and it does really suck because then it does give, like, just normal tea shops a bad name, you know? Like, it gives people who believe in science and yet also sell teas that are meant to be helpful a bad name. Man, I wish, yeah. It's an interesting thing that, like, not much has been done about it. I don't know. The crafting is going very well, I think. I'm starting to maybe make money, I think. Yeah. Yeah, especially for autoimmune stuff. Well, I'm a researcher by personality type, I think. So I have looked into a bunch of quote unquote alternative medicines for helping with autoimmune stuff, just to see if there was stuff that could help. And some of it was useful, you know, like going on AIP, which was recommended by my doctor, but, like, that's considered by some doctors to be relatively pseudoscientific, but I was able to figure out which foods, you know, make it worse for me, and that was very helpful. But then there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I came across that was just not good. And, like, all of the books, they're always like, look at this scientific study to prove it, and then, like, most people aren't gonna look at it. I love reading books where they're just like, it's been proven by science, and then they, like, don't cite studies or anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Well, a fresh draught? You mean I'll get free alcohol? I mean, I guess, if you suggest so. Fudge! Every time I need to make new frost potion. A potion of frost. Potions. Oh, no, just drop you in. Potion of frost. Hello. There we go. All right, I'm gonna try to save this recipe again. Yes! Perfect. So now we have a level 2 potion of frost. And this, oh, this is a level 2 potion. Fudge. Fudge. Okay, there we go. You get rid of, I don't need you. Your potion of frost, that is going to be easier for me, so I'm going to get rid of this one. Okay. Here you go, my friend. But it doesn't say what they claim it. Yeah, that too, for sure. I watch CGP Grey a lot, and, like, first of all, I wonder if he's ever going to be able to put out the actual video that he's working on, because he keeps, as far as I'm aware, he keeps getting stuck in these, like, really long research spirals, which I totally get. The number of times I went on a research spiral today about Naruto, because I wanted to see if my ships that I had when I was a child were handled at all. And spoiler alert, they weren't handled. Don't go to Naruto for romance, my friends. Don't go to Naruto for romance. Believe it! Oh god, yeah. What did I learn? I learned that the person who wrote Naruto is not, how do I say, likes to make romance off screen, if that makes sense. So I learned that like a bunch of ships get together and I guess I'm not in the Naruto fandom anymore, so I don't know whether those ships are satisfying to fans. However, for me, I don't know, bruh. I don't know. Basically, none of the people that I shipped that I wanted to get together got together, and I'm like, okay. He's not a good writer, is what you could say. I don't know that I can say that, because he's written not only Naruto, but also Boruto, and then, like, several books, not live action material, several books, movies, like, he's got a lot of different stuff out there now. So I don't know that I can say that he's a bad writer, because there's a lot, like, clearly people really like his plots. I stopped somewhere on the road, somewhere in Shippuden is where I stopped. So I can't say like how good the rest of the plotting was. I do know that like the first couple seasons of Naruto were really good. Or I enjoyed them, rather. I don't know if they were good. I don't know if I went back and rewatched Naruto. I don't know how I would feel about it, because I watched it as a kid, but... Oh, Boruto did? Oh no, no. But does that make him good? That is a question for future times. Cough, cough, 50 Shades of Grey. But like, I think that when things get popular, they do get popular for a reason. I can say that I don't think he's good at romance conclusively. I can say that conclusively, but I mean, he's probably pretty good at action, I would assume. I'm not I'm not a comics person. So part of it is storytelling, but part of it is also like drawing and being able to convey like action and movement and like intrigue and cool things like that. And I don't know that I'm like, I don't think I've explored comic storytelling at all, really. Most of Boruto's not written by the same person, to be fair. Honestly, good. He should have a break. Hello. Oh, right. Grow faster. That's what you want. Yes. Yes. Yes, my dear. You. 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 And then... Although one thing that I do know is that there is a type of person, because my best friend is one of these kinds of people who like once they start a show, they can't, you know, they're not gonna, you know, once they like, you know, they're committed. They're like, I'm committed to these characters. I want to see it all the way through. I'll just finish the potion here. All right, here you are, my friend, mon ami. But they also have smartphones? Wait, when did they bring smartphones in? Interesting. Oh, really? Did they... Huh. What? Wait, if they have... Oh my god, that brings up so many questions. Maybe they have computers without internet? Do they have internet? I Okay. Komi can't communicate sounds like the kind of manga that I would read, to be true. Naruto has a MacBook. Relaxing, I sit in my forest hut, drink mushroom tea, and write my memoir. Sometimes I go for a walk and feed the squirrels. This man has an ideal life. This man has an ideal life. Fudge! Here you go, sir. Damn. This lady's asking me to help her burn down her, like, ex-husband's house. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna help you burn down any houses. I don't think I'm gonna Listen. If your husband left you for another woman, that's probably good. You probably don't want him. You want them to run away with your blessing. And just, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you. It's definitely your husband's fault. Okay. I need a potion that gives me strength and sends me into a battle frenzy. I don't know. Would you like this potion of light and fire? I guess not. I guess you do. I guess you would not. I don't think I have a potion of strength to give you, my friend. Maybe if I go past the growth. Did I pick up my... I didn't. Kupal? Interesting message there, Kupal. Satellites in the towers, a straw building with dishes poking out. It's very fun. Okay. Definitely an interesting... Why did Naruto become popular? Was it just because, I mean, the first couple seasons were pretty good, I would say. And there is, like, you know, school, ninja school, combine those two things, like anything with schools. There was a while there, anything with schools was a big deal. I feel like that's died out a little bit. I feel like schools aren't that big of a win anymore. Not that they're not still a win, I just don't think that it's the same level of win as it used to be. Maybe I'm wrong on that, and maybe I've just, like, lost touch because I'm like, nearing 30, and so I don't know what the youngins are into anymore. Let's go. Let's explore down here. Away, away. What is this one? Slow down potion. Interesting. What did you need from me? Oh, no. Don't have that. Your kids still talk about Naruto in your classes? Of a sports anime, yeah. Yeah, where ninjutsu was a sport. That's true. Also, like, at first, Naruto had a lot of good, strong, like, lady representation. Like, back when Naruto came out, there weren't that many shows with, like, strong girl characters. And so I was like, oh my god, ninja girl fighting, that's fun. And then, you know, like, as the show goes on, they create all these really cool, strong female characters, and then they're like, but it's okay, they need to be saved all the time. I'm like, Sakura can literally punch a hole through space-time, and she's like still getting saved at the end of the series. I'm just like, ha. BNHA. Oh, and it's a school-based show? Yeah, I haven't watched it. Ninjas being cool. And the feeling of isolation hits teenage angst perfectly. But there's a lot of anime that hits teenage angst. Like, anime is teenage angst. Most anime is just teenage angst. So I feel like that alone can't be everything. Like, in the same way that, like Sword Art Online was big, but it wasn't as big as Naruto. Like, what made Naruto special? I don't know. I was into Naruto too. And I gave up way before any of my friends did. I was like, I am scenting a never-ending plot upon the breeze. That's true. They don't do that and have ninjas. And we do like ninjas over here. That is one of the things I feel like, because I feel like anime in general can be alienating for a lot of people here in the West. Like if you're not used to watching anime, and you get an anime that's like got a lot of anime in it, you know what I mean? Got a lot of like anime tropes and conventions, and then you try to introduce that to somebody who's never seen an anime before. And that generally doesn't tend to go very well. But I feel like because it was like, no, it's a fantasy world with ninja, and also everything in Naruto is kind of made up, like everything's fantasy lore. So I feel like a lot of that was easier to like suspend disbelief for. Or easier to suspend disbelief for than like an anime might normally be, like if it was just like a slice of life anime. Oh, that's true. Naruto did have really consistent branding. I will say, if you got the Naruto gear, like you didn't have to buy new cosplay gear for Naruto. I mean, you did kind of, but like you could reuse a lot of your cosplay gear. Where am I going? Exploring, flying, there's not a star in heaven that we can't. Why am I singing High School Musical? I haven't seen that movie in like 10 years. I'm sorry. I don't know where I'm going on this map. I'm just exploring. Naruto is nonsense, but it does respect its world's rules. For the most part, yeah, it does. It does. And I did like the way that, like, I like the way ninjutsu worked in the show. That was, like, really cool. Everybody also, like, the beginning of the show was when you were still being introduced to people with new powers through, like, the Chunin exam. And that was really cool. There is so much stuff in this potion. Okay. Sure. Alas, I will finish the potion here. That didn't help you. I spent a lot of time not helping that man out. Maybe I'll try to go down this way. I don't know if I have that many like down potions anymore because I kind of used a lot of them. Maybe I should just go up. Maybe I should go towards the fire again. Good night, Melia. Thanks for coming. Just standing there, staring at you. It is interesting to see how people get into the different series. And it's also very interesting to me always to watch like what does get big in different places and among different groups. Naruto or Sword Art Online? To be honest with you guys, I never watched Sword Art Online because it gave me real creep vibes. I don't know if that's accurate to say, but I have heard certain things about the second season that make me feel like it's accurate. I think I made a mistake in going this direction, but that's fine. Yeah. I still need to create a potion of explosion. At least I fully examined this bottom part down here. see what's up over here. Okay. Let's go, team. Ooh, new potion. Will this... Hell yeah. Hell yeah! What potion is this? Explosion potion. We found it. We finally found it. Chapter 2 is completed! New visitors, order types, and potion bases, merchants, and purchasable items appear with each new chapter. Cool. I like it. Hello, Dante. It gets rather uncomfortable very fast. Yucky, inappropriate. Oh, okay. Oh, second part of the message was referring to Naruto. Got it. Got it. Exactly. We haven't poisoned anybody. I'm so glad you see it, Violet. I'm so glad you see it. I'm so glad you understand. Would you like this potion of explosion? No, you don't want the potion of What about bounce potion? Okay. Sleeping potion. Did I save the sleeping potion recipe? No, I need more papers. More papers. Sleeping potions all the way over there. I don't know that I'm gonna be able to get there. I just used so many ingredients. Excuse me. I mean, I just sold them the knife. I intended it for kitchen use. Let's go. Thank you. I appreciate that. With my tiny sneezes. Here you are, my friend. No one has put a curse on me. Ah ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. Who could put a curse on me? There are many. I'm not the only sorceress in the area, and certainly not the scariest, trust me. I wonder if you can actually get cursed in the game. Do you guys think that if I helped them burn down that witch's house, she would have come back to curse me? Because I feel like it would have happened. So you used to bless yourself if you sneezed if you were alone. To be honest, it took me a really long time as a kid to realize that bless you was like a religious thing. That originated anyways in a religious thing. I think it's kind of like made it past that at this point, but it's become a part of our culture at this point. Nice. There, we've done it. Aren't I beautiful? Look at all of my head accessories at the same time. Oh, that's such a fun emote. Stumped has great emotes. Fare thee well, good night. Magnifique. Magnifique. That's my French. Magnifique. Oh, so the game only saves when you go to sleep. That's why the last day that I played didn't save. I see. My dwarf friend. No, I'm still saving up. I'm still saving up my money right now, my friend. Well, for example, a potion that makes you stronger, or maybe a sleeping potion. Would you like this slow potion? Hell yeah! Yeah, you would. God bless you. Me actually trying to speak French is quite horrible. I've heard from many French people. Oh, the bandit who killed your buddies. Okay. His death will be slow and painful. All right, friend. All right. Just remember that your good pal may have supplied the poison, but I've only supplied the poison in the event that you and I are good friends. Wah! It's all come off on its own. Maybe the universe is trying to tell me something. Let me see if I can get a better poison recipe so that I can, nope. All right, maybe not yet. I'll do that later so that I can have a level 2 potion recipe instead of a level 1. Your apple trees produce very few apples. Yes, I can make you a growing potion. I think. Yellowring, how dare you officially confirm? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've heard a lot of stuff about French from Canadian people specifically. As I've said, I've only known 2 French people. I've only known 2 French people in my time. Keep going down. I'm not sure, but I'm very curious about whether the distinction between like those two kinds of French is similar to the distinction between like Dutch and German. Because Dutch, first of all, do not speak Dutch to me. It breaks my brain. Like it's like the most uncomfortable feeling in the world to understand German and then hear someone speaking Dutch, and it's just like the English and the German parts of my brain start screaming because it's like so disorienting to hear almost German. But aside from that part, you can like I can read Dutch. It's not the same and they spell things very differently, but like I can read and understand Dutch because it's very similar to German. So I wonder if it's similar in that way. If Parisian French was modern English, Quebecois would be Shakespearean English. Oh. Interesting. Oh. It's a stereotype that Parisians dislike anything but Parisian French. It is probably a stereotype, but I've also found it to be true in at least with the French people, the people who speak French, sorry, that I've known. There's real frustration and animosity there, and it's usually because like somebody in the past at one point like they had an interaction with a French person and it made them very angry, kind of thing. There seems to be some of that happening. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this one. See if I can do this one instead. Fudge. Actually, let me see if I can get it to level 2. Heck yeah. Let me get rid of this again. Heck yeah, save recipe. Here you go, my friend. What? What? You don't want my potion of growing plants to make a better apple harvest? What's up? What's wrong? What? Québécois. 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 Hello, Québécois. Yeah, that part of the French language. So it like makes sense that they're that intense about it. Why are you always selling different herbs? I don't gather the same ones every day. I know a lot of good spots, but they're far apart and I must give them time to grow new crops to pick. Okay. Okay, lady. Ooh. These are very cheap. I'm not running low on them though, so I don't know that I'll buy them. Goodbye. Goodbye! Hello, Witcher. More ghouls. They have a ghoul nest. Needs a bomb. I can make some, but it's better to trust a professional in this matter. There's absolutely no time to lose. If I had a free moment, I prefer to spend it with the ladies or playing dice. Ah, the Witcher. You know how he is. The Witcher. Hello, alchemist. Today the city guards are going to ambush some bandits. I need an exploding... I literally just sold one. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Let's try this again. Language academies are kind of a little bit. You know, but it's an interesting thing that France does that. Like, it's interesting in the way that it's like, oh, cool. So now we know what happens to language when like a culture tries to do it that way. You know what I mean? It's very interesting to see French as a language that has like a body that kind of tries to prevent the natural growth of language in the way that it like language naturally happens, you know, with slang and like stuff getting I don't want to say devolved because that's not the right word, but like language morphs and changes all the time. And it's very interesting to see that they have an academy that tries to... Do I not have anything that goes up and to the left? No. Okay. Good enough. Here's your good enough potion of exploding things. Here you are. For example, popcorn. Could I imagine if something drew me in any style of children animated shows? I can't kind of imagine because I have gotten fan art. I have gotten fan art drawn of me. And so it's been very, like, that's been fun. I love that stuff. To Québécois. Yeah, I mean, that's why, you know, that's why places like England have so many accents too, right? Is because they're all like, because back in the day, all of those areas were so separate because we didn't have convenient modes of travel that they just like became firm dialect. You're not just a descriptivist, you're an anti-prescriptivist. Listen, I am very descriptivist, but I do think that there are uses to having like joint rules of grammar and stuff that we can all agree on. For example, like when it comes to writing professionally, grammar is super useful to know, not only like because it's expected to know and you need it and all that, but like it's very useful to know because not knowing grammar can lead you to write sentences that are completely unclear. Like if you misplace a comma, or if you do a comma splice, or if you like merge sentence clauses that shouldn't be there, and now it sounds like you're talking about her, but there's 3 women in the room and you were actually talking about her, and like that kind of thing. So I think that there's like uses to it from that front, but I do think that we go way too overboard, especially people who are like going out there trying to correct how other people speak and trying to correct people's dialects, trying to like proper English is the right way to speak English. That kind of thing, I totally do not agree. Lady, you're asking me to help you and your lover steal all of your valuables from your husband? I'm not gonna do that, okay? I'm not gonna do that. If you want to steal all your valuables from your husband, you're on your own, my dear. Language academies go well past that. I'm not super familiar with any language academy aside from the fact that the French one exists. Oh, interesting. I have heard the latter half of the theory. I haven't heard the first part about the received pronunciation, but I have heard that. Yes. Well, I mean, cause here's the thing. I think all of our accents changed a lot with like the development of radio and then television, right? Because historically speaking and culturally speaking, people tend to try to imitate people who have money / wealth / power in their culture as far as they're aware of. So if that's when your town is tiny, you know, you speak like everybody else around you. But now if you have the radio and like the Queen speaks this way, or if you have, you know, TV and all of the celebrities that you like are speaking with a transatlantic accent, now suddenly that's probably going to become more common, especially for people who listen to radio a lot. In the same way that, like, when all of your friends are Americans, you start to get a little bit of a softer, like, more American-tinged accent. Or, you know, in the same way that, like, that's a thing. I think. Exactly, Violet. Exactly. Yes. Everyone sounds higher pitched? Aww. That's so interesting. Le punk rock. I believe that the French Academy would dislike that. But at the same time, like, listen, I can't agree with it, but, or like, I wouldn't agree with, oh God, if they made something like that in America, I'd riot. But I'm not French, so I don't know what it's like to be French, to grow up French, and to like feel that kind of national pride in Frenchness. The other thing is that like here in America, we're like super a country of immigrants in a way that like a lot of European countries aren't. Like a lot of European countries, at least until recently, have been like predominantly their group of people with a small number of immigrants, but like predominantly their group of people until recently, like I said, like historically recently, until like, you know, like the past like 50 years. Oh wait, how 70 years. But like it's really, I don't know, it's one of the things that I've been thinking about a lot more is just like these efforts to preserve, especially as we become like more of a globalist world, right? These efforts to preserve the culture of a place as culture is becoming more like combined and intertwined. Generally speaking, I support efforts to preserve like a specific culture because like that's awesome. Let's do it. And so I like in terms of the National Academy, I think that's kind of what they're going for. And obviously, you know, France and French has a whole history of baggage behind it to like give us feelings towards the French in general and towards the French wanting to preserve that kind of legacy. If that's the objective of the Institute, which I'm not super sure that is, but that's how my linguist teacher told me about it when I was in college anyways. People hearing these accents during their language acquisition phase as babies. Yeah, that too. Because if you hear it as a baby, you can kind of keep it Can relate to French pride. Our culture invented the freaking Easter egg, only for it to be culturally appropriated. I have never watched that happen. But like it is something that's like interesting to me now. Cause like again, in America, right? Like for us, all of Europe is kind of all of Europe. Well, I say all of Europe. Western Europe is kind of all of Europe. For us. And so like for us, there's not that much of a like distinct, at least I'm speaking for myself and my own family here, or from like the people that I grew up with in Kansas. So not a big sample size, but it seems like for most people, because we come here and we're like, yeah, I'm like part British and part German and part French and I'm part Dutch. And like we have all these parts that for us, it's easy to look at Western Europe and be like, it's all the same. Whereas like in Europe, like this is why I'm like I'm not allowed to like make any kind of implications that my German family is similar to the French in any way, because that's just like something that you don't say. And it's not, I don't think that it's like a actual intense like anger kind of thing. I think it's like, you know, in the same way that we're like, the French always surrender here in America. I think it's the same thing over there, is that they're like, oh, we're not like the French. But like they still have their very distinctive national, or they did have very distinctive national identities between like British is British, French is French, you know, Spanish is Spanish, German is German, Danish is Danish, in a way that like we don't super comprehend here, because to us it's like Western Europe is like a chunk of history that we learn in one unit, and like we kind of see it more like states than individual countries to the extent that they do. I don't know. I'm trying to talk about this, but I'm not sure how well I'm explaining it. To keep grammar accurate to the point that older classics can get changed each time they're republished. Oh, interesting. Huh. Interesting. But at the same time, it's like kind of what, I don't know. It's really hard for me to like look at stuff happening in other countries and be like, you should do it this way, you know, when I'm like not a part of that country. But it is like really fascinating, because like we did that with like the King James Bible, right? Basically like the Gutenberg press happened, and then he was like, we're gonna make my version of the Bible. Like if we're gonna have a Bible out there, which they didn't want people to have a Bible because Catholicism ruled all at the time and was how everybody kept power, basically. So they didn't want people to have a Bible, but they were like, if we're going to give people a Bible, then we're going to give them the King James version of the Bible, which is the only Bible that is allowed to be printed, and it's the one that I personally, as king, have like gone through and assured that this is how we want these things to be interpreted by the masses, right? So like in a way, and that very firmly influenced language for a long time. There's like these things that people do that have these huge like historical fallouts that are only like really, you're only really able to comprehend them in hindsight, like how big of a change they are, you know? Man. Like coffee shops. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that, Jacob. France is super racist. Oh, that sucks. I didn't know that about French people. Or I didn't know that about France, the country. I do know that France historically is super racist, though. But I've never been to France, so. Oh, national purity, a lot against immigrants. Yeah, I think any kind, because like it's the same. I think that just most countries that are like that way, where like the majority of the population is one race. I think that most countries like that are fairly hostile to immigrants. Like you look at Japan, and people are comfortable with like, you know, they're comfortable with like Americans living among them and stuff like that. But then you get into the realities of people who live mixed, who are like black and Japanese or white and Japanese, or, you know, people who are even just like Japanese, but with slightly darker skin to a level that I can't really perceive. And then, you know, the attitude starts shifting of like who's really Japanese and who's not. And I think that that's probably just a normal thing for countries who like you grow up and it's all just one kind of person next to you. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying that like it's a pattern that a lot of these nations tend to do that. And like I don't know. I've been thinking a lot more about, like, I grew up in America, so what biases do I have that might not be shared by somebody who didn't grow up in a country that is just, like, by its bedrock foundation, multicultural. And, like, by everything about America, we're multicultural. Literally everything about us, we wouldn't be a country anymore if we hadn't, you know, profited off of many immigrants and slaves coming to the nation, right? So it's like been very, like, I've been trying to unpack that a little bit to see where my biases are in terms of that. I don't know, it's very interesting. From the Gauls? Man. The Gauls were a group of... Oh, yeah, you can't do that. You can't tell people in Europe that they're all the same people. What are you doing? Just like you can't tell Germans that, like, it's fine. You can't tell people that they came from... Their family has always been in this one location for as long as time has existed. Is there a reason I'm wearing a crown? Because I'm royalty. They asked if you had a Bible at home, and they were like, is it a King James Bible? That's the only Bible. It's the correct one. Yeah, exactly, Jacob. Like, once, and like, this is all stuff I learned in my linguistics class, which is just very funny. Again, I would have become a linguist had I discovered that linguistics class, not in my senior year of college. But, that like how big of an impact the Gutenberg press and also the Bible had on like the culture and the language of like everywhere is really quite fascinating. Also, like, I love how much the Gutenberg press led to, like, let's just say that, like, looking at the Gutenberg press and then at the internet, you're like, this makes sense. There was like a huge period of tumultuous explosions everywhere because everybody was getting inundated with so many new ideas in a way that they weren't before, and like it led to a lot of like cultural upheaval and like population just like riots and fights. It just like led to so much stuff, and like people got power in a way they hadn't had it before. Low-key, the Gutenberg press eventually led to like the Protestant Reformation and everything. Like, it's just wild how much like you're like, let's connect the dots of cause and effect across history. Yeah, Japan does have the law about the apartments because of foreigners. In Japan's defense about that, though, it's not just because they're foreigners and we don't want foreigners here. It's because there was like an epidemic problem of people moving to Japan and then leaving Japan and not paying rent and like not paying for the rest of the apartment and not paying like move out fees and stuff like that because they were across an ocean. What can you do now? What can you do to get that money from them, right? So that's what I'm not saying that law is a good law. I'm not saying that that's the way they should have solved it. But I don't know how much that was like direct racism and how much that was like actually a lot of people are being shitty. Or maybe it was the other way around, because I've always heard that was the reason, but maybe only like 5 people did it and actually, you know, and it wasn't actually that big of a problem. I am very, like, not familiar with the Bible, to be honest with you. And to be honest with you, I think I've read, like, 6 different versions of the Bible in my time and just never noticed that they were different. I'm sorry. I've also never fully read the Bible. That seems like a lot. Has anybody really fully read the Bible? Do you have to fully read the Bible if you go to Catholic school? Yeah. Yeah, it really does go back to that idea, Jacob. It does. The Gutenberg press. You look at it like it's a tech, like it's like a soft beta run of an app. That's very funny. Hello, Sarah. Hello. Oh, you don't have to read the whole thing. But you read 6 of them. I read from 6 different Bibles more accurately. Because, like, my grandma was Catholic and my mom was some kind of Christian for a while, and like, don't ask me, I don't know the differences, don't ask me. And I was like gifted a Bible, and then my friend gifted me the Mormon Bible, and like, I'm like, There's a lot of different Bibles. That's what they said, but it's debatable that was ever a real issue. Okay, gotcha. Are in theology school. Is theology school like Bible history? I don't know. I have a friend who like went to school for theology, and I never asked him this question. They would pick and choose excerpts specifically. Oh, I see. So it's still kind of in keeping with like, this might be rude. I'm not trying to be rude, but it's like in keeping with the kind of the mindset of like Catholicism, just kind of like over the ages is like, you know, keep your eyes where they're supposed to go, maybe. I don't know. I had a Book of Mormon. I did have a Book of Mormon. My friend who is Mormon gifted me it. I read like the first 40, 50 pages, and I was like, I went to Zek, because Zek is also like was raised in a religious family, and I was like, yo, is it normal for things to be this wild up in here? Because I thought that the Bible wasn't gonna be like this. And like I told them the story, and Zek was like, yes, that's normal. So I'm like, okay. So okay. Listen, it's fine. The fun thing about like having not grown up in a really like heavily Christian family, especially like in America where so many people were, or / like so much comes from that, is that like I get to have this like really fun, pleasant relationship to like Christian theology and excerpts where I'm like, oh, that's such a nice sentiment. What a nice excerpt from like, what a nice thing that you read. It's very nice. You know, and I get to like, I don't have a lot of, you know, my mom took me to churches a couple of times, and then I was like, I don't want to go anymore. These people be hypocrites. And my mom was like, okay. But I think I'm able to approach it from a lot lighter of a perspective than a lot of my friends are who did grow up like going to church and stuff like that. Bible history would be evolved. Philosophy for religion, studying and scholarly interpretation of the Bible. Gotcha. Pastor priest training. They were apparently formally in the Bible. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, again, I'm not talking about Christianity or Catholicism as a religion because I don't have much of a perspective on that. But what I do have a perspective on is like the history of Catholicism, and like how it impacted like early Europe, because for some reason I know a lot about that. And like it became a system of control at that time, right? With the serfs and everything. It became the system of control at the time. So it makes sense that if it's being used as the system of control, people are going to, I mean, people always do with religion. Like that's part of why religion exists, in my opinion, is that religion is meant to like help you cope with present modern day reality. So if something is not matching up, then like, I know that there's people who like literally interpret things, and then people who like kind of figuratively interpret things, and then people who like pick and choose, and like everybody's got a lot of feelings about everybody else in this process. So I don't want to get into that. But again, from my perspective, having been raised without a real religion by my parents, I'm like looking at it and I'm like, it seems like part of the point of religion is to be able to like change it as you go so that you're able to cope better with whatever pressures are existing in modern times. At the time of Catholicism way back in the day, it was like, you know, we're just trying to institute this system of control and like keep the system of control, and like that was the way that not just like that was the way that like kings at the time wanted it, because that was the way that the kings maintained their power and maintained their right to rule, and like, you know, you were born to be a serf, that's what God intended for you to be, so just be a good serf kind of thing, you know? Which text to include in the New Testament? Which version of Jesus and Mary? Sometime in 200 AD. That's fascinating. Whoa! Whoa, I go! Whoa! I got spooked it. I got spooked. Our deep tangents. Yeah, no kidding. We're off on another one, right? Oh, it was really overstimulating. Oh, yeah, I can bet that church would be really overstimulating. I will say that there is something extra special about going to a church in Europe. Despite not being a member of these religions, I've been taken to a lot of churches just because like my friends were religious, or I was dating a religious person, or my family was religious. So I've been to a lot of churches in Germany and in the UK and in America, and like our churches have nothing on their churches, okay? Every time I'm like, ooh, we're going to a church in Europe, let's go, let me get my stuff. Like, I'm very excited because so many of them are just like cool historical, you know, like architecture. It's just like, oh, it's so cool. But here it's very different. Have you heard how awesome Martin Luther was? No, I mean, Catholicism is the same everywhere. Again, since my grandma was Catholic, it was very much like, I don't know. I don't know. What I do know is that my grandma was very religious and like relied on it very heavily and like was a great person. Yeah. Picking and choosing of which parts of the Bible we're reading, talking about which parts we're conveniently ignoring. See, yeah, that's been my experience of the Christianity that I found here. My mom, like, wanted us to, like, go as a family to church at one point in Kansas, and we went to this church where my family friends of ours were the pastor. And so, like, from what I can, and, like, God, I have no idea, so please don't ask me, but from what I could tell, it was kind of, like, a catch-all Christian church, like, hey, we have our own beliefs and we're gonna preach, but like, you know, we're not like Presbyterian, we're not what are other Protestant, I really don't like listen. Evangelical, listen, there's a lot of words that you guys use to describe Christianity, and like it's hard to keep up on the outside. Anyways, so I don't know if they were like a specific sect or anything, but like I do know that I definitely didn't agree with a lot of everything that was said there. And I do know that they did do a lot of picking and choosing, which like my mom wanted me to go to youth group, and I went to youth group like 2 times. And then they started doing that whole like, you're not a real Christian if you don't come to church thing. And like, I went to my dad and I was like, I would like to not go to youth group anymore. And he was like, why? And I was like, because I believe that people can have a personal relationship with God and that it doesn't make them bad Christians if they don't go to church. And that's what these people are saying. And I feel like that's also hypocritical of them. And my dad was like, okay. My dad was like, yeah, that's fine. He just like let me out because I had like a really good reason and my dad didn't care. Unitarian? I don't even know what it was called. Like, from what, cause like I would look at the sign and be like, does this but it did, I swear it was just like, you know, our Church of God. And I was like, well, I don't know what that means. Dante. Germany has a church that's literally built into the side of a mountain. Like it was carved out of the side of a mountain. It's awesome. I was born very near that town. A monster is killing people. I'm like, Sir, you're not gonna understand any of what we're talking about, but good parenting. My dad was a really awesome parent. Yes, I do. I love my dad. Okay, I don't have anything to help you see through the invisibility. Would you like this light potion? Okay, goodbye. Oh, our last customer of the day, too. Wow, he waited a long time for that, and we did not help him. We did not help them. Yeah, yeah, it's all, man. Sorry. I think because I'm not particularly religious, the history of religion really fascinates me and just kind of like, I don't know, it's hard for me not to approach it as it and kind of all religions from the historical perspective and from like a cultural perspective and like to see it from that light. I think Yeah, I just think all of it's really fascinating, especially because my friends all have such different experiences of it from me. Sounds kind of off-brand. Gorgeous, a rare non-gothic. Man, so one of my favorite, I wonder if I can find the church. There's a church in Trier, Germany, which, just so you guys know, I don't, like, if you ever get the chance to go to Germany, go to Trier. It's not a place that people often, I mean, surely you'll hear about it if you're planning a trip to Germany, but you should go to Trier. It's, like, literally has the oldest buildings in Germany that are left. Like, it has a freaking, it has like Roman buildings still. It's like a Roman city that was founded in Germany, and they still have preserved some of those buildings, and you can go look at them. It's really cool. And then aside from that, because those old buildings were there, they started building grander buildings around it. So they had this church in Trier that you could go see in the Altstadt, in the old city. And according to what, and I don't know if my uncles were pulling my leg, but according to them, that church was being built when there's like a huge church that was being built when my grandma was still a baby. It had been in like construction for like 20 years or something when my grandma was a baby, and it finished when I was like around 18. So it took them like 100 years to build this freaking, or like 80 years or something. I wonder if I can find it, because that's like the coolest church that I've ever been in. And that was your only church experience. That sounds like me. I was like not the person to go to, like, I was just not the kid, right? Because like adults would try to like explain BS to me, and I would be like, there's a flaw in your logic right here. And they would get mad at me and tell me to shut up. So I was like not the kid that you wanted to bring into like, they were like happy when I left church. They were like, oh good, it was really hard trying to like convince her of things. I don't know if I can, is it this one? This doesn't look right. I don't know if it's the Cathedral of Trier. The oldest church in Germany! Well, this one is the oldest church in Germany. So I have been inside the oldest church in Germany. That's cool. Oh, I think this is the church. Okay, Trier Cathedral. Trier Cathedral. Okay, so I don't think that this is the church that was being built, but this is the church that I was thinking. There's like two there's multiple churches in Altstadt, Trier, and then there's like two really nice ones, and I get them mixed up, but there's a link if you want to go look. Yeah, let's go on a train ride throughout Europe. That would be so fun. That would be really fun. I would like to. History of Trier. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, it's the oldest church in Germany, and it was built... Let me see when it was built. Oh, it got rebuilt. It was destroyed by Vikings in 882. So it was built in 270. It was built in circa 270. And then they had to, like, rebuild it again. And so the current building... They did the groundbreaking in 1235, and they finished it in 1270, and it's still freaking standing. That's so cool. And it's a real, like, they take really good care of that building, as they should. Trier, so there's the city of Trier, and then there is the core center of Trier. So the core center of Trier is called the Altstadt, and they don't allow cars in it, really. They allow cars, but, like, all visitors basically have to park. Otherwise, they have like, you know, tour buses and stuff, and like cars for delivering goods and stuff like that. But most people are not allowed to drive in the old city, and so you like have to walk into the old city through the I think they call it the Porta Nigra. Yeah, through the Porta Nigra, which there's a photo here. And then once you walk through that, you get to this section that is like all cobblestone roads, and it's just like, it's just an old It's like an old city center from thousands of years ago. For everybody who like lives in Europe, they're like, that's normal. And like for me, I'm like, it's so cool. Cause like we have no America. Yeah, it's very cool. Pre-Rome officially adopting Christianity. It's old, yeah. It's really cool. It's really cool. So I do like love. Well, at one point I tried to learn a lot about like the history of art in like Western art, the history of Western art, and like all you learn is religious stuff because that's what art was like. That's who could afford to pay for art back in the day. So, anyways, if you ever get the chance to go to Germany, go to Trier. A full train ride through Europe. I mean, we'd have enough people speaking different kinds of languages to get us through. You know, like everybody would have to like, all right, these 3 people speak German. We're in Germany. They get the helm. We just buy the train, yeah. We just buy the whole train. It's very cool. Y'all, I'm a huge history geek. That's all I can say. And like I said, Trier's right on the border with France, so. But don't tell them that they were influenced by French culture at all. It makes them mad. Even though their food is definitely influenced by French culture. Don't let them hear me say that. But it totally was when I was over there. It's not the same. It's good. It's good. It's good food. My Japanese will be super useful one day. One day. Anyways, let's see. Okay, we're closing in on 3 hours. I'm having a good time. Did I already save? Is this a new day? No, it's an old day. I must save. Go to sleep and save. Thank you, Sarah. Hydration. What do you think's in this little box down here? I want it. I want in it. Imagine sleeping with a skull above your bed. Maybe some of you don't have to imagine. Who are you? Right. Oh, girl. You got these for cheap. Okay. Yeah, let's haggle. Okay, well, I guess I'm finishing playing this day and then we're probably gonna wind down the stream. Thank you, mon ami. 50% Madonna and Child, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, Bavaria is a different part of Germany, but not that dissimilar from the part where I come from, because I come from southern, like south, north, southeast, west, southwestern Germany. And so there's a lot of, as you like start getting towards the south, there's a lot more overlap, but not the same. Although I do apparently speak German with a southern German accent. I sound like a country person, which is fine because my family's from the country, I guess, technically. Here you are. Oh, I'm sorry, Anzena Owl. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was gonna be a shorter stream today because I'm not feeling super great, but I had a great time this stream, and like I'm not too drained, so I hope I'll be able to stream on Tuesday too. Oh, I don't want to kill any foxes, but I guess I will do it because you need that for your food. And I'm a nice person. So I guess I'll help you get food. Let me grab all my stuff. I do want to say, I appreciate that we can all have like an interesting conversation about like religion and how it's historically impacted stuff without having it get, nasty or judgmental or, mean in any way. I really appreciate that we were able to have that conversation. Like, I'm like, what rare thing on the internet, but we do it here so frequently, and so just thanks again for that. Here's your poison, lady. Madam Twerks! The owner of the local brothel is Madam Twerks? Oh my god. Does the city have a brothel? Yes, and it's not bad. The girls are gorgeous. My friend told me all about it. Yeah, I'm sure. Do you want this bounce potion? Yeah, nobody wants the bounce potion. Aw, thank you, Ruby. Also, yes, Madam Twerks. Best name. Name my baby that. Don't hold me to that. You'd love to see Germany again? Me too. Me too. I think Germany is one of the most beautiful. I think specifically the Rhineland is like one of the most beautiful places that I've ever seen. But that's a lie. I've seen a lot of really pretty places. There's so many cool places on Earth, damn it. An intense skirmish. Ah, you would like some mana potion. Can I even make one? I can make exactly one. Good for us. Here you are. Why are mushrooms growing out of your hat? Beautiful, huh? These are special mushrooms. Humans can't smell them, but wild beasts fear their scent. When I was young, I would eat these mushrooms before going into the forest, but then I realized I could grow them on my hat. Twerking water bottle gift. Yeah, exactly. Someone will eventually want the bounce potion, but how will they ask for it? Crushed it. France was the most beautiful, but you know. France, Paris smells like dead bodies. I don't actually know. I've never been to Paris, but that's what Nancy Drew taught me. No, you're a very evil person, my friend. My friend, you're a very evil person, my friend. Oh, listen, my friend. Our village is preparing for a local holiday. There will be dancing, reveling, and mountains of food. We also want to hang lanterns all over town. Yeah, how about this? Here you go. I've heard Paris smells like pee. You could just bounce in the air. If only they would try. Oh, that's true. The mint cookie curl-up recipe. Forgot about that. No fire, poison, or frost will take it down. No fire how about a bounce potion? Not a bounce potion. No fire, poison, or frost. What do you do? Do you want lightning? Damn it. What about explode? Damn it. What about... you're gonna make me do it, aren't you? Explosion potion. Do it. Can I even? Can I even construct? I can't. I can't make that one. Okay, so can I go directly up? I have 5 of those. Okay, I could probably make a lightning potion. If only I could jump high enough to slap a bird. You've never truly lived until you've slapped a bird in the face while it's flying. Oops, this is not what I want. Nice. Save that. Oops. Well, let me finish the recipe and then save it. Save that recipe. Maybe that one will be easier for me to rebrew. Oh, you can move them! Oh my god. This book is so cool. Good job, game. Well done. What a thoughtful thing to include. How wonderful. There you go, friend. Oh, that's so sad, Connor. Paris syndrome. Vape-based pens and pretension. Hello, hands on a chest. Do you want me to, like, explode the chest? I don't think I can explode the chest for you. I don't want to help you. Goodbye. Oh, what? I got goodness points for not helping her. It was just a chest. Oh, she stole the chest, didn't she? I honestly, guys, I don't think that I'd be very good at this in real life. Like, I don't think I'd be very good at spotting people doing evil things. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't know that I'd be. I don't know. I was just like, I'm just that person who, like, a lot goes right over my head because I just, like, don't conceive of doing the mean thing. So, like, when people are doing the mean thing, it just, like, totally does not land. I'm just like, you're great. It's definitely better than London. Oh. It's not hard to be better than London. Like, it's fine. Listen, don't get me wrong. But London sucks. London is just, it's just a city. London is just a city. It was fine. Stonehenge was cooler. I don't know. This game wants me to profile people. It's a different time. It's a different time. Oh, man. Well, I'm having a fun time. Again, so, just so, like, now that we've experienced the game, the new stuff that they're gonna add, a fully operational alchemy machine, new legendary substances and salts, reputation-based dynamically generated queue of visitors, lots of new effects and ways to please customers, garden upgrades and planting management, new goals, upgrades, talents, sounds, music, and much more, new unique maps and potion bases, various additional requirements for potions, and notes in recipes and saving legendary recipes. It looks cool. London or Redmond? I don't know what Redmond is. I don't know. I don't know what that is. But yeah, so I'm actually really excited for this game. I think it's a really nice, relaxing game. I kind of low-key hope they put it out on mobile sometime, because this is a game I would really like to play in bed at night before going to sleep. You know what I mean? And you're already happy you bought it. Yay! Yeah, I agree. It's a really, like, they have a vision for this game and they're going for it. And I love it. I love the way that you brew potions. It's such a cool concept and it makes it so that, like, the only limit to playing this game is your own creativity, really. And, like, how much you want to explore, how efficient you want to make certain potions, whether you want to stick to the same, like, 5 kinds of herbs, or you want to branch out, or you want to be a good potion seller or a bad potion seller or indiscriminate. Like, it gives you so much choice and creativity to really make it your own in a way that a lot of games kind of don't. A lot of simulation games kind of structure you towards, or at least when I play simulation games, I always kind of go for whatever is the most efficient, even if it's not the most fun. And I feel like because of how they do the potions in this game, it keeps it very fun. It keeps the creativity, it keeps the exploration, it keeps that all in there so that, like, I don't know, I feel like it circumvents that part of my brain that needs to be the most efficient all the time, you know? On mobile or Switch. Yeah. Some good, some bad. Yeah. You know, I wasn't gonna say anything about it, Tim, but, like, British food and, like, you know, caveat to growing up in America, that's, like, an extension of British culture, right? Is that I, like, go and I eat British food and I'm like, what is this stuff? Like, I'm just like, what is it, beans and eggs? Potatoes, Oh, that's very cute, Angel. It's casual enough that it can be really social. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can take turns. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about playing it with other people, but that's cool. And it made you hate France. Oh no, that's not good. I'm very curious. I want to see France with my own eyes just to understand it. Just to be able to make up my own mind about it, because I feel like France is one of those countries that you hear so much about that it's kind of impossible to parse what it's actually like until you get there. The seedy underworld potion seller. Yeah, yeah. X amount to Dr. Bull. Oh. That's wild. That's wild, and that is unfortunate. Let me tell you, Jacob. Although, okay. I'm just gonna, this is a thing that I've discovered recently, and I'm just going to tell this to you guys just so that if you ever end up in a place where weed is legal, or sorry, this is legal weed because it's CBD. It's CBD, so it's like legal everywhere. But I wanted to show this. It's an inhaler. It's an inhaler for CBD, and it's specifically designed for people who suffer from PTSD and anxiety to be able to stop episodes and to stop attacks. So you can take it as an inhaler, and it's an immediate effect. Which the only other way to get an immediate effect is through like smoking weed, which like a lot of people really don't like to do. And so this is like brand new. This just came out. Like I went to the store and I was like, I have PTSD. And they were like, get this. And I was like, it's like changed my life. So I'm just a weed inhaler. So Geek Girl Con. Hey, Geek Girl Con. Hello. Thank you for following. Enjoy your apprenticeship here. I love Geek Girl Con. I'm a fan. It's very cool, yes. So if any of you ever end up knowing somebody who might benefit from that kind of thing, I'm just letting you know because it's brand new. It's not really, I only learned about it from the people at the shop, and it's been really helpful for like, because like loud noises and stuff, I have PTSD, so loud, sudden things like can trigger me even just for no reason. And it's been really nice to be able to have something that is an immediate like counteraction so that like if something happens right before, a business meeting or something like that, I can stay in the place that I want to be at when I go into it, right? So just letting you guys know. Modern times are the best, right? We've really come a long way. Does it have a scent or taste or anything? It has a very light, I like had to do it to answer. It has a very, light flavor and scent. You wouldn't be able to like, it doesn't smell or taste like, it doesn't smell or taste like weed. So you wouldn't know unless you told someone that that's what this was. They would just think it's an asthma inhaler. There's nothing on it or anything that would alert people. So if you needed to use it like discreetly, like at work or something, you totally could. It just works exactly like a normal inhaler. And essentially like, it makes me cough for like the first like 3 minutes after I take it, and then it's fine. Also, Devadermon, thank you for following. Enjoy your apprenticeship here as well. Police. Chicken tikka masala. That checks out, because that was the best part of the food in England, was like the Indian food that I had there was really good. Ye olden times. Me too, Coop. God, goodness me. Day one. Oh, I was recommended from Yosh. Hello. Well, a friend of Yosh is a friend of mine. I'm sorry though, because we are starting to wind down the stream now. Actually, let me swap over to IRL. Excuse me. Can put on better music. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah. Excuse me. But we are winding down. And we're just chatting as we wind down. But one of the things that we have a tradition of doing at the end of streams is everyone gets to share something that they're looking forward to or something that they're happy that happened today. I'm really happy that I got to stream. I was a little bit worried that I wasn't going to be able to stream because I wasn't feeling super well today. But, I was like, I'm gonna do it. Maybe it'll like cheer me up and maybe I'll feel more energetic. And it totally did that. And I'm very happy, you know. Thank you guys for being such a nice chat today and being able to have these fun conversations about topics that are often more difficult in other areas, in other locations on the internet. Because like that's part of what made it such an easy stream and like a positive stream for me. So thank you. Right, Coop? That's me too. Like, I love like medieval, like I love learning about olden times. I would never want to live there, but I do love like the aesthetic. I am very big on that, you know. You made dinner from scratch. Ooh, 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 shrimp scampi. Ooh. That sounds good. That sounds good. I'm glad you were able to make dinner. I'm glad you're able to like rest a little bit now. How does he just get away with that, Jacob? The game was really cool. You hope you can pick it up or gift it to a friend sometime. Yeah, definitely. Let me get the link for anybody who wants it. Definitely wishlist it. As you guys already know, wishlisting really, really helps out devs. It helps out the algorithm on Steam. It helps them when they're like looking for funding and stuff like that. So if you ever find a game that's still in development, wishlist it on Steam. It helps the devs a ton. You finally finished Deltarune Chapter 2, so you don't have to worry about spoilers. Hey! God, that feeling, right? I'm glad you enjoyed it. You're happy that you had an interview yesterday? Yeah, no kidding. And it's always really helpful to have, like, experience through that, right? Oh, hello! Geek Girl Con is raiding. Geek Girl Con. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for the raid. I don't know if you guys have heard about Geek Girl Con. I've talked about it on stream before, but Geek Girl Con is a local convention that happens in Seattle. And I believe this year it's mostly online, but celebrating all kinds of aspects of geekdom and specifically a convention targeted at femmes. At femmes, and everybody else is welcome too, but specifically focused on, you know, femmes being able to find each other and befriend one another, and all of our LGBT friends. Specifically focusing on that aspect that often not centered part of gaming. I'll put it that way. Hello! Welcome in. You've come just in time for the end of the stream. One of the things that we do at the end of the stream is we all share something good that happened to us today or something that we're looking forward to. So if you would like to share something like that, we're all sharing our good things. You don't remember... Oh, and also, hello. I'm Cara. My name is Cara. I go by Cheritoma Online. I'm a narrative designer for a bunch of different games. And I also stream here on Twitch. I like to play a lot of indie games, really cozy and chill games, and then occasionally I play games and talk about their narrative design. Especially like, you know, longer formatted games that I have more of an emphasis on narrative. So if any of that interests you, you can drop a follow. I have more like narrative design specific things on my Patreon if that interests you. Otherwise, welcome in. You started working again for the first time since you had to stop over a year ago due to COVID. Congratulations. I hope it feels good. It's your good thing, so I hope that that's a really good thing. You got to run your RPG on Sunday and get valuable feedback. Yeah, you said that. You said that it went really well. Because he's Matthew McConaughey. That checks out. Apocalypsa, thank you for following. Enjoy your apprenticeship here. British Indian and Bengali people have been creating some great food. Leicester. Oh, Leicester. I've been to Leicester and their curry is really good. You're right. It is really good. Grateful for all your calculus homework that you still need to do. It's nice to take breaks and watch some great streams. Yes. Well, good luck with your calculus homework. It's nice that you're feeling positive about it though. You know what I mean? You felt good. You did some video editing and watched the most intense episode of Gravity Falls. Nice. Nice. Listen, you know, I don't think that productivity is always the best way to imagine like your days, although I understand because like I often evaluate my days in terms of productivity, or I used to do that a lot more. But I think like on the days when you don't have as productive a day, you probably needed to not have as productive a day. You know, like your brain and your body needs a break sometimes. So if any of you guys find yourself on a day where you're just like, you can't focus, you can't make it happen, just cut yourselves a slack. You can't be productive 100% of the time. You know, don't feel bad for not being productive. Just let your body be where it's at. You're happy for a great weekend and you had celebrating. Oh, your best friend's engagement. That's oh my God, that's so fun. Congratulations to your best friend. You must be so happy. Hello, Gazysaurus. I'm a little bit late. Hello, everyone. Just in time for the end of the stream. Loads better after having the 2 days of flu-like symptoms from your second COVID jab. Thank you for being vaccinated. I'm glad that you're protected. You're gonna drive across Texas tomorrow? Ooh. That actually sounds really fun. Man, I haven't like gone exploring in some time. Yosh and King of Archers got into Minecraft Championship? And while training, people recognized how cool he is? His stream was at 1,300 viewers. That's incredible. That's wonderful! Congratulations to them! Yes, yeah, let me find who we're rating. You guys are right. I'm sorry, I'm taking a little bit because I was just chatting to everybody. Comfy turtleneck indeed. To gauge productivity over happiness in world. Yeah, it's definitely like, I don't blame anybody for doing it because that's absolutely the way that we're definitely like, in America at least, the way that we're kind of taught to evaluate ourselves is like, how productive are you being? Are you hustling? Are you doing everything you need to do? You know, or did you have your side hustle going and all that? But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like part of my most meaningful form of like revolting against everybody trying to force me to live that way is just to be like, actually, no, I'm reclaiming what productivity means to me and I'm setting my own standards for what I deem to be productive and how often I should be productive because I don't know that I agree. I don't know that I agree with the perspective that is often like set out for how hard you need to be hustling, you know? I think that it's really important that everybody makes sure that they can get time for self-care and just like, I don't know, peace, like calmness for that. And for me, part of that is definitely distinguishing between when I'm putting pressure on myself that is external and when I like personally feel the desire to be productive or whatever. Yes, I definitely have somebody to raid. That's awesome. Your good thing is that you started drawing again lately and it's been nice to really reconnect with something you used to love. I vibe with that feeling right now. I really vibe with that feeling. It's really nice to connect with something that like you fell out with and that, you know, you're enjoying again. We are proud of Yash, yes. Do I have a platinum tiara or crown? I don't believe I do. You do gotta love Friends doing great. Yeah, I fall into that. I fall into that a lot, Coop. Part of it is that I guess that comes with like discernment and knowing yourself, knowing when you're, cause like I watch YouTube and I play games specifically to avoid problems. Like I do those things to avoid problems. I marathon House Hunters when I'm like, I'm avoiding an emotion. You know what I mean? So I think that part of it is discernment, but I do think that like part of it is just like, sometimes your brain needs that time to veg. Actually, Positive Psychology like has a website now and they have a lot of like documents on that website for therapists. And anyways, point being, burnout In recovering from burnout, one of the things that they count as good and effective and productive rest is literally vegging out and doing nothing. So like laying around, binge watching TV, snapping, not really going anywhere, walking around aimlessly, entering the kitchen and forgetting what you wanted to do in the kitchen. That kind of like, just like, that kind of thing that where you get into a system and you're just kind of like completely like, you're too tired to even do the things that you normally enjoy for fun, so you're just like vegging. That actually counts as productive rest for people who are recovering from burnout. And in fact, for some people, it's an incredibly necessary stage for them to go through. All of that is to say that, like, I know everybody likes to say that those kinds of days are you not doing anything and like nothing productive is happening and you're just wasting time. And if you like really wanted to rest, why don't you go do this other kind of rest? And like, why don't you meditate or whatever? That's not how bodies work. That's not how bodies work. That's not how brains work. We can't just force ourselves to do things all the time. We're not machines like that, right? And so even if it doesn't feel like it's probably productive, just not in the way where you're like literally outputting for somebody to consume what you're doing. It's probably productive for you. Basically keeping you in a job. Woo! We do it for you, Tim. Do it for Tim. Aw, no problem. That's what we try to do here. Oh, I forgot about H2O. I like really wanted to like that show as a kid, but I like it was one of those shows where like I felt like the kids were projected to be like 8 years older than they actually were, so they were dealing with like the problems that happen of a kid who's 8 years older than them, and I couldn't handle it as a child, as a youth. Starting the task is always the hardest part. There's a lot of things where that's true. When you lay down in your bed or turns into an accidental nap. Yep, exactly. All right, let me see. I think, oh, that's fun. Ooh. Oh, wait, there's Anna. Oh my God, Anna's streaming right now. We're gonna raid Anna. I haven't gotten to raid Anna in like a billion years. Oh my God, we're raiding Anna. What is this game? What is this game? What is this game? Oh, this game looks fun. Okay. They're bad role models. That's very fair, I think. You hit a mental wall a couple weeks ago. It's been nice focusing on Same. That's a lot of how I've been spending my time. I've been in a, medical and mental state. And so a lot of how I've been spending my time has been kind of like taking time away to just reorient myself a little bit, I think stuff like that is like, I think that's actually some of the most valuable stuff a person can do, because that's how you get in touch with yourself and figure out like what you want to do and stuff like that. I think vegging is very underrated. RJ. RJ, I've had been burnt out for years. I am in the recovery phase right now. I am recovering from burnout right now. It sucks. I had no idea how burnt out I really was until I started recovering a little bit. And then I like looked back at my old perspective and I was like, oh my goodness. Okay. So I would love to keep talking and hanging out with you all because we're having a great day, but, and it's a great stream, but we'll always have Thursday stream. So I'll see you guys again on Thursday, and we're going to raid one of my good friends, Anna, who you guys already know. I believe Anna's in follower only or subscriber only chat because there's been a lot of hate raids going on recently. So just keep that in mind. But Anna is one of my good friends and a dev friend, also a writer for games, and plays a lot of romance, just a really fun streamer. I can't recommend Anna enough. Like, everything about Anna is great. So we're gonna raid Anna. If you want to follow me on any of the socials, there are the links. If you've just joined and you like the vibe of the stream, we do have an archive channel, so you can go and check out the archive channel. We also have a list of games. of all of the games that I've ever played, so you can go find the game that you like if you want to see that. Otherwise, thank you guys again so much for such a wonderful chat today. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on Thursday, hopefully. And also get your hype machines ready. Chariot dance for Anna. We must communicate the happy. All right. Emeraldo, thank you for following. Enjoy your apprenticeship here. And we're rating Anna, whose pronouns are they, she. Rating in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye, everybody.
Does not want you, Joe. Other Joe, fake Joe, not real Joe. Cara, how are you? Thank you so much for that raid. You all know we do for raiders. Put them smooches